Good evening, everyone.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. Warren Select Board meeting, October 28th. We will start with public comment. This is an opportunity for the public to discuss something that isn't otherwise on the agenda. So if anybody has a public comment, now is the time. Lisa, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about minutes.
Mhm.
I was wondering, when we can expect them, because, when I looked it up on the last minutes that were published online were from the last week of September. So it's kind of hard to keep up if you, can't read the minutes.
Mhm.
So I'm just just asking.
Yeah. I think this statute requires a draft of the minutes within 5 days, and then up to 30 for the final minutes. Rebecca looks like she's checking right now to see if they're up to date. And if there are any lapses in that, I apologize, and please always feel free to reach out
Sure.
and
The
ask.
last meeting was the 14th, and I honestly just, there's been so much going on, I just haven't gotten them updated, but
I mean,
I
the
do try to
draft-
get them on there.
Are the draft, can we see the draft ones, or do we wait for the?
The draft minutes go up,
Yeah.
and then we replace them with the finalized minutes.
Oh, okay.
There's
Yeah.
usually like 1 or 2 grammatical corrections, so
Right.
the draft is pretty
Okay,
close to
I
what
just didn't
gets
see any
published.
draft either, but thank you for, thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you for the reminder to stay on top of it. It's important.
I think, the truth is there's a loop. It's not like Rebecca's not taking the minutes, somebody else taking the minutes, and then we have to get them to do them and then get them back to us, which we need to do a better job on. And
Thank
always
you.
trying to tighten that up.
Yeah.
Life away.
Do we have any other public comment this evening that doesn't pertain to an otherwise specified agenda item? No. Okay, we'll move on to agenda changes. Anyone have anything they need to change? Got Craig at 6:40, but he's not here.
Should we flip flop the two?
Unless he's somewhere on line, but I don't think so.
Yeah. So should we just flip it? So we'll move
So-
the speed hump discussion to the first line item, and we'll do the benefit discussion after that. Other than that, I don't have any agenda changes. Anyone else?
Can I actually suggest that we move up one of the other items, only because if people are coming to talk about
Right.
speed humps and they're coming at 6:55, I don't want them
That's
to
fair.
miss the conversation.
That's a good
good
point.
call. Good
Yep.
call. What do you want
What-
to do?
what-
Sorry,
Maybe
I
can
know
we
you
move
all
up
want to
if
get out of
other
here
people
earlier,
wouldn't-
but
Yeah.
I want to make sure that people
Oh,
are.
Craig's here.
Oh, great.
Craig's here. So let's leave.
Make
That's
your
okay.
way.
You're not
to the front.
technically late.
Okay, that's good.
I need a seat
Come
for
on
it.
up.
think
Do we
can-
have a?
we can move that.
Is there a seat?
Maybe just bring Ruth's over.
Full house.
Full house.
Must be something real serious. It's a benefit.
We're all here for the benefits
Benefits.
discussion.
Yeah.
We've never had an audience
I'm
like this, right?
privileged. All right.
Because nobody can read these things, so everybody needs you to explain it.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Always do. So much stuff.
I don't think we've ever had this folder.
We have,
Oh, yeah.
not that I've seen.
Maybe count for the first time about me.
Oh, maybe, yeah. All right, Craig.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I am. Are you guys?
No.
We're ready. All right. So, I checked in with Rebecca earlier, and you guys have all seen the information that I emailed.
Yes.
So, 2025 has not been a great year from a claim standpoint. and the plan that you offer looks at claim information to develop renewal rates for the coming year. We kind of faced this last year, but we made a decision to continue with the current plan, hoping that things would get better. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So we're looking at a renewal, but alternatives from Vermont Health Connect that are probably going to be better for the town than continuing with BEB, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield through the captive.
So the one we have now is through the captive.
It is
and-
through the captive. You have fixed rates, you have guarantees through the end of
Right.
the year and all that. It's a fully insured plan, but it has that ability to refund
Right.
any excess claim of below the expected level.
Yeah. Which we didn't meet,
It's not gonna be a refund year.
yeah.
So, there is a renewal, and, the sheet shows that the renewal would come in at 12% if you
Can
continue.
you just direct us to which sheet we're on?
Sure,
The Blue
it's
Cross Blue Shield?
Page
Oh,
one,
all
my
of this?
multicolored sheet,
Okay,
and page
This is
one,
the
make sure
Can that
you're
be
at,
emailed to, can that sheet be emailed, please? Lisa will look here.
Working on it, Lisa.
So, page one, gotcha.
and make sure you're on page one at the bottom. So, in blue is the current plan, the way it's operating today. In green next to that would be the 2026 plan if no changes were made. And based on prior experience for the group, BEB, Blue Cross Blue Shield is coming up with a 12% rate increase. The alternative in the Blue Cross through Vermont Health Connect, which is not experience rated, it has nothing to do with demographics, claims, or anything else.
Health
is-
Connect is the exchange.
That's the exchange.
Okay.
That would show slightly less than a 5% rate change for 2026.
For virtually the same,
Basically, a slightly higher deductible. So the renewal will be a 3,000, 6,000 deductible. In the exchange, the plan, you don't have flexibility in that, would be 3,200 and 6,400.
yeah.
So down below in the HRA, which the plan sponsors and uses to pay claims that people incur, I bumped that amount up to show a full HRA. On page 2, same
sorry.
current plan.
Before,
Yes.
the HRA funding is just the
Health
acronym,
retirement.
health what?
Health reimbursement arrangement. So the
Reimbursement.
town sponsors a promise to
Yep.
reimburse claims that are paid by the insurance company, but would otherwise be the responsibility of the individual.
Understood.
So the town takes that responsibility and pays those claims up to the limit of the deductible each calendar year.
Yes, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Sure.
Remind
So-
me what
yeah.
CDHP.
CDHP is Consumer Driven Health Plan. It's an acronym to just identify the plan as an HSA qualified plan.
Okay.
But the way the HRA is set up, the HSA is not an option for individuals because the plan has the HRA,
I would say.
which pays 100%. So on page 2, same first 2 columns, the third column shows an MVP equivalent as close as possible gold plan, which would mimic the Blue Cross plan. And it would show you a decrease in premium and a decrease in the HRA responsibility that the town has. So my comment to Rebecca was, it's probably time to look at a different plan design. You know, I don't want to tell you what to do, but based on experience that's been happening and claims that have been presented, it's probably going to make more sense to the town to save money on the fixed cost. Yes, there will be HRA claims that the town will pay, but regardless of how you structure it, you're still going to have HRA claims.
Right.
It's just the fixed cost will be lower in 2026 than they would be with BEB.
So on the exchange, you can get Blue Cross for 246,000 and MVP for 222,000. Why is that
No, you
No,
gotta go all the way to the
green.
bottom.
Look at the green button.
without the HRA, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without the HRA.
So why is MVP cheaper?
It's just the filing that they submitted to the state of Vermont, and the Green Mountain Care Board looks at every company's filing every year and adjusts whatever they ask for. This year, MVP had a more favorable filing than Blue Cross. And it's
What does
probably,
that mean?
in terms of filing,
Yeah, what,
sure. So in the world of insurance, insurance companies have to actuarially try to project what their costs will be, but it's always a guess. So for Blue Cross, they had, unfortunately, a negative thing happening. They had low reserves, and the state called them out and said, if you don't raise your reserves, we're going to be concerned because you're not going to be able to pay claims. So they built in an extra increase to accommodate the reserve loss that Blue Cross was happening. That's not part of BEB. So your current plan didn't have to worry about the reserves, they're fine. But in the exchange, Blue Cross across the board in the state of Vermont faced a negative consequence by having to raise their rates to cover the reserves that the state wanted. So they didn't have to step in and try to pay claims. MVP, very solid. They've been maintaining their reserves. Everything's fine. So their renewals came in much lower in 2026 than Blue Cross did for the same period.
so I just wanna share with those of you who may not have been here, we, at one point, and Craig, fill us in on this too, please.
Yeah.
At one point had MVP.
Yep.
And we got a significant amount of feedback from the employees that it was really challenging. Really frustrating, very hard to maintain consistency with the care they'd been getting before. I think there were like drugs that weren't covered. I don't remember the details. And
Processing claims,
Yeah.
timeliness.
yeah. So we made a decision after that 1 year with MVP, right? Craig, I think it was just
Was
1
it
year,
just 1
to go back to Blue Cross.
Yep.
Even though it was a little bit more expensive, because the usability of it was seemingly so much smoother. So that's the history.
And that's still kind of what I hear from people about who have MVP, but, I mean, neither of them. To me, it's like AT&T versus Verizon.
There you
Depends
go.
on who you ask, and, you know, I had a great experience, I had a lousy experience, I switched, it's worse, it's better.
At
It's a
least
great
it's not
analogy.
Cigna.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Craig, can you talk to us a little bit about the differences in usability between the two in your experience?
Sure. Personally, I buy my insurance through the exchange, and I shop price. So I've been with MVP for the past 2 years. I'll probably renew with them in 2026. While Camilla's point is, well taken, people have pros and cons for either carrier. personally, I've never experienced a problem, but I know that certain providers are not part of MVP, and that can cause a problem.
Right.
So it's, they're both competing in the same market. They have similar networks, so that overlap between a doctor that might be with Blue Cross and should they be with MVP, they probably are, except for outliers, chiropractors, mental health providers, people that still maintain autonomy from the networks like UVM and Dartmouth and all that stuff. So there are some outliers that don't participate in one or the other network.
And out-of-state MVP's network is
Cigna.
Cigna.
So if a person wants to go to Mass General or
Right.
Lade Clinic or wherever,
It's Cigna.
it's Cigna. Yep.
Which is really hard to get claims processed through.
But the plans are virtually the same.
They're very similar.
Looking at,
BEB did not change their plan design from 25 to 26, so it's still a 3,000 calendar year deductible, 6,000 if you have dependents. In the exchange, there's no flexibility to say, I want the same plan. It's what they file. So in the exchange, both MVP and Blue Cross filed for a 3264 calendar year deductible based on single or family.
So because it's exchange, they're the exact same plan, right? Same
Yeah.
deductible, same everything.
Yep.
Because that's what the exchange makes them do.
Pretty much, yeah. You got it.
can you tell me what the difference is between wellness scripts and preventive scripts?
Sure. It's unfortunately a internal thing where the person that builds the spreadsheet, they're the same. But what they are, wellness scripts, preventative scripts, the DOL, or IRS guidelines say if somebody has a script that treats diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, cholesterol, prenatal, asthma, and there's a seventh one that I'm not coming up with. But if it's in one of those categories, regardless of the carrier, they have to dispense it without a deductible. So wellness scripts, preventative scripts in those categories get paid based on either a cost share or a copay. But you don't have to accumulate your deductible before it's paid. All other scripts, if you're taking Eliquis or you have a statin or whatever, it's going to fall into one of three categories: generic, preferred, non-preferred, and then it's going to be subject to some kind of cost share or copay before it's paid. And that's common in both plans because the plans don't prescribe what is wellness preventative. The IRS and the DOL does that.
Okay, so on the top, the top line, excuse me, of both the MVP and the EC, whatever, Vermont Select,
Yep.
where it says deductible waived for preventative, deductible waived for wellness
They
on that one, and
They
this one is
mean the
preventative and
same.
preventative, they do mean the same thing.
they mean the same thing. So those, you don't have to accumulate your deductible.
Okay,
You
okay.
would just be subject to a copay or a cost share based on generic, preferred, or non-preferred. All other drugs would go towards the deductible,
Right,
but there is an internal cap so that a plan that says you only have to pay so much for your prescriptions, if that cap is reached for the non-wellness, non-preventive, you're done and they're paying 100% after that.
So it sounds like we have two decisions. Number one, do we stay in the captive or do we move to the exchange?
right.
Then number two, do we do MVP on the exchange or Blue Cross on the
That's
exchange?
basically, those are the two decisions.
And moving to the exchange feels like a relatively easy decision, because it means a reduction
Either way,
Yep, yep, correct.
Is there a downside to moving to the exchange?
yeah.
So the downside is the unknown. In 2026, everything reverses and you don't have a lot of claims. If that were to happen, the exchange is not going to release any money back to the town. The captive sets a maximum claim expected. If you fall below that, and you have in the past, you'll get a refund for claims that didn't occur that they expected. So it's a guess. You just, you don't know.
Except that we have 2 years in a
You've
row where
had
we
2
have not had
years
that.
of more than expected claims.
Right.
So, and, you know, not to say this in a bad or wrong way, you have a small group.
Yeah.
And it's hard to predict what's happening. Bigger groups, claims get spread out,
across.
risk is more predictable. Small group claims are not gonna be spread out.
How big could, let's say had a really low claims year, how big could that rebate be?
50% of anything below the expected claim level. So we'd have to go to that Blue Cross contract, which you all have a contract of. And they'll tell you in this illustration what they expect claims to be, claim funding.
Yeah,
So if you stayed in the captive and claims were below that expected level,
yeah.
you could, you could expect 50% of the balance back to you as a refund.
So up to 50% of $175,023?
Yep, exactly.
We pay for the increase, but, but could go either way.
It could go either way.
So if nobody got sick or hurt, you could get 50,000 extra premium back.
More.
Seems
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
a low probability.
It's
Right.
probably,
$7,000.
with 2 years of history where
Yeah,
there wasn't a refund, I would
Yeah.
bet on
yeah,
the known, not the unknown.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost more like what are the chances that we could get the 33,000 back, which is what the increase will be, right?
Right.
But the other, yeah. I guess the only thing, you know, my instincts say to go ahead and you know, move to the exchange. The only thing that I would wanna understand about the different plans is probably this in-network, out-of-network thing relative to
Yeah.
a lot of our
Our
employees.
employees, I agree. That's my thought too. Making sure that they're not losing access to the doctors that they already have relationships with.
Sure.
How much time do we have to make this decision?
Couple weeks.
Not to push it, but
1 week.
November
middle of
1st.
December.
Tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you said November
December.
17th. No.
Well, all right,
That's-
November 17th. I like that. No,
Okay.
you could delay through mid-December and we could still
And
get
the
it done.
rates stay the same?
The rates are
Yeah,
locked.
locked, okay.
All this is known, no changes at all.
So why don't we say by the beginning of December, or
So we'll have
our
that discussion with,
second meeting in November? What if we were to,
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah,
need to
I
put it
think
in our
that's
budget.
there's only 8 people on the plan, so we can just talk to.
And my suggestion would be to tell those 8 people, contact their current providers and just ask the
Make
question.
sure.
If
Yeah.
they're
You're part of Blue Cross, or you're part of MVP?
MVP, yeah.
That seems reasonable.
Sorry, we can't give you an answer tonight.
That's okay. It's fine.
But it'd be
How
good
do
to
you
know.
manage to make it so understandable when
I
you look
don't
at
know.
this stuff and you're like, this boggles
40
my
years,
mind.
I guess. That
40
helps.
years.
you know.
thank
But
you.
hopefully it does make it
Yeah,
somewhat understandable.
yeah.
Very
Clear as
helpful.
mud.
Yeah.
for sure.
Unless we
I
ask
love
any
that.
more questions, in
Yep.
which case forget it.
Well, I know there was another question floating around about opening eligibility for the benefits that the plan offers.
Yeah, we haven't had that.
We haven't had that.
Yeah,
So we'll
we're,
leave
yeah,
that
we're not
alone.
ready for that one.
We'll leave that alone then. That's fine by me.
Yeah.
But when it comes up, if it comes up, more than happy to discuss
Meaning
that
opening it
then.
up to like part-time employees or,
Right.
okay,
Part-time stipend.
stipend,
Yep.
understood.
Yep.
I don't know that we're ready, but we would need numbers.
They're all here. These numbers won't change based on enrollment or selection
Right.
or anything else.
So we could use these same numbers.
Yep.
To understand what it would cost.
Yes.
So if a part-time employee wanted to join but pay their own way, this is what they would pay.
Right, these would be their deductible
And it wouldn't
rates.
cost the town anything, but even though the group would be bigger, it wouldn't benefit the town because it's the exchange
Yeah.
and town, or the exchange doesn't care how big your group is.
Right.
That
But
is
that
correct.
might be the
But
conversation
reason
to
to
go
move back,
back
right.
to,
If we had a bigger group,
Oh, to
Then
go back
maybe
to the
we-
captive,
yeah,
I see,
in the future,
yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions for Craig?
Thank you,
think
Craig.
so.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
More than happy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
You
much.
sure though? We're all done?
I know,
All done.
right, was it like too easy?
Oh.
Too easy?
Because we didn't make a decision.
I know, well, that's okay. You don't have to.
Well,
But
if we have more questions, we will reach out or ask you to come back. We'll try really hard not to do, and I don't,
no, that's totally fine. And you know, I guess I'm showing you comparable plans.
yeah,
There are other plan options.
right, but they all come with higher deductibles.
Correct. So
And
Yeah.
up to this point, we've been pretty committed in paying the deductibles for our employees, so.
Yeah. Just for grins and giggles, I'll show you the next higher plan deductible, adjust the HRA, and just look at what the numbers look at.
Well, and that might be an interesting comparison, such that like if we hear from our employees, they really need to stay in the Blue Cross Blue Shield network, but go to, I imagine that's a silver plan, it's like a gold
It
plan.
would be, you're on a gold, so it would be a
A
silver
silver
plan.
plan,
Yep,
to see if that would bring it within affordability,
there you go.
but given the fact that we're having high claims, I don't know that matters.
That's the reverse, exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, because you technically are self-insuring that HRA, so
Yeah.
regardless of whether it's a captive or fully insured, you're still paying claims up to the deductible level.
Right,
So raising it might not help you.
benefit us,
Yeah.
yeah.
But sometimes the numbers could say, even if you raise it, it might reduce your fixed cost enough to offset the higher HRA. I'll run it and you'll see.
That'd be
it.
great,
It's worth
It'll
looking
be
at.
very
Yeah.
evident, yeah.
Excellent.
thank you,
Thanks for your
Yeah,
time.
sure.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you all.
thank you very much.
All right. Have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you. All right, the most exciting topic on the agenda this evening.
That was, right?
That was,
Yeah.
that was very exciting, riveting, thank you very much. So we're gonna move into our conversation about the speed humps. The board has some information to communicate to the public, and then we'll open it up to public comment. And when,
Can I ask a question before you start?
yeah,
Are there state regulations on the design or
Carl,
size?
can I,
Yeah.
may I continue as
Yeah.
I'm,
Okay.
Questions will come
yeah,
after.
please.
Yeah.
So, just so everyone knows, the 3 problematic speed humps that are not what we ordered will be removed by the contractor tomorrow.
Which are?
The one at the north entrance and the 2 on Brook Road, the one above the dump road and the one below the school road. Those 3 are gonna be removed. The speed tables will remain, and they do meet the specifications that we asked for. The board would like to offer a little bit of a summary on how we got here, just so everyone's up to speed. After years of complaints from residents and speed count data that corroborated their concerns of excessive speeds, both on Brook Road and the North Main Street entrance, the board decided to engage in a study to understand our options for traffic calming. We applied for and received a village traffic calming grant in July of 2022. We engaged with VHB, a professional engineering firm, and along with that firm and strong public engagement and feedback, we installed a striping program in 2023. At that time, we held off on installing any hardscapes. After 2 years of results from that striping, showing some positive behavioral changes, primarily on Flatiron Road, we saw little improvement on Brook Road and North Main. So the board decided to go one step further and install speed tables and speed humps. At our August 12th meeting of this year, we reviewed a cost proposal from Pike for the installation of 2 speed tables and 3 speed humps. With public input, we voted on the locations and the styles. And at a later meeting on August 26th, we amended the locations after some critical feedback from townspeople and a greater desire to focus on the Brook Road speeding concerns. All of these decisions were made in publicly warned meetings with public engagement. Pike offered to get the humps and tables installed this fall. Previously, they had said spring. We were working with a village traffic calming grant that we thought expired in December, and they were willing to accommodate us because they had time and it worked with our funding. We have since received an extension on that grant. We received that on September 9th after we had given Pike the okay. So we will have access to those grant funds through the next calendar year. On the day of the install, the board received word from our road foreman that what was being installed didn't seem like what he thought we wanted. I responded almost immediately and was told by the contractor that what we ordered was not allowed on public roads. And that they could, the humps could only be up to 7 feet wide instead of the 12 that we had marked out and asked for. In light of this, I asked the contractor to shave down the already built portions of the bumps as much as possible, hoping to improve the situation until we could get to the bottom of the issue. Following the completion of the installation, it became pretty clear that what was installed was not what we ordered. And we were in conversation with Pike throughout the weekend. And we're doing our own research and taking measurements. We've had an engineering study done on them. We met with the contractor yesterday morning in person, and everyone acknowledged that while the 2 speed tables were built as intended and operating as expected, the 3 speed humps were not. They're not built as intended, and at least the 2 on Brook Road were not operating as expected, and they needed to be remedied. Unfortunately, we're now at a time of year when the temperatures are not conducive to paving. So we can't simply correct them. Therefore, we determined the best course of action is to remove those 3 speed bumps until they can be properly replaced in the spring. Like I said, the contractor will be here tomorrow, bright and early. And that's all I have from the board perspective, unless anybody else on the board wants to say something further. And we want to hear from all of you. We have 20 minutes for this discussion, so I ask that you please be mindful of your time so that your neighbors can be heard. Yes,
My
Carl.
question was, and I think you partially answered it, are there state regulations on what a speed bump or should
Yeah.
look like? How many there should be,
Yeah, there are.
sizes?
So it's a little amorphous at the state level. The state statute guides towns and engineers to follow the guidelines from MUTCD, and then VTrans. Yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna get that
M.
acronym.
I was gonna ask that.
MUTCD. And it's a really big book, and it's all about striping and traffic and signs, etc. There's also a toolbox from VTrans that helps with some of these things. However, there is no one specification that the state requires. There is no single set of plans or designs that they insist on. There are simply guidelines, which is part of the challenge.
Are there guidelines from the state as to what the acceptable speed is for crossing a speed bump?
There's guidance based on how things are constructed and what speed they should be used at. So the speed humps that we want, that are 12 feet wide and 3 inches tall, are designed to be able to be used at 25 miles an hour.
So would this be a traffic violation if somebody was going faster?
I'm
If
not
it-
sure I understand the
Well,
question.
if the speed in which you have to cross a speed bump is lower than the posted speed limit,
Yeah, no,
would
no.
that be a traffic violation? If they fail to go,
Would it be a traffic violation on behalf of the person who traveled over the bump too fast?
Yes. Is that a,
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Constable is saying no.
No, 25, it's a violation. Right. Really simple. The speed limit for the speed humps is 10 miles an hour, that's the suggested speed limit over those. But if you wanna go over them at 15 or 20 miles an hour, as long as you're under the speed limit, you're not breaking a law.
Right.
that's, I thought.
You might break your car, but you're not breaking the law.
Yeah, Shelby in the back, come on up.
Hi, I'm Shelby Sims. I'm a resident in the village on Brook Road. And I wanted to acknowledge some of the very real concerns and frustrations on the part of commuters and travelers in the village. I did want to voice my appreciation and the appreciation on behalf of a lot of village residents for the hard and persistent work that the select board has been doing over the course of several years as you've laid out, Devin, to try the calming. And I'm so sorry and frustrated on your behalf for the execution on the part of the contractor. And I want to voice to everyone in this room that there are 10 children that live on Brook Road and 50 plus students at the school that cross the road on Brook to commute between the school and some of the free after-school offerings in the library building, and we see them regularly crossing the road. So I think a lot of people in the village recognize and appreciate the fact that we live in a thoroughfare. There are not alternatives, and that's a reality, and really a benefit of living in a place that's vibrant and busy and real. But I also just want to voice on behalf of village residents our appreciation for the troubleshooting that you have done over the past several years and the continued course correction that you're pursuing in this process. And I think it is very helpful to get an update on what didn't go perfectly in this round, and I would encourage everyone's patience and support of the select board of being responsive to a lot of the folks in town. So thank you.
You're very patient.
And basically, when the people are in their cars, they don't care about the people in the road.
Right.
They don't care.
I disagree with that.
Wait,
You know what?
sorry.
I was walking across the bridge, because now there's signs where I like to park my, if I have a trailer on it, pull up across the road. But there's a whole mess of signs, I can't do it anymore, so I went down to the town yard for a minute, because I'd stop at my house, to the town parking. I'm walking across the bridge, there's a car coming towards me, there's a blue Subaru behind me. Instead of slowing down, it accelerated to scoot right past me, okay, so he could go on his way. He was less than a foot off of my left side, okay? And accelerate, not giving a piece of way. I live on the corner there. I've put 2 fences up. I've worked on the yard all the time, mow the lawn, everything. If you're walking, they don't
That
care. You know what
person-
slows them
maybe
down?
That person didn't care, but I,
Constantly.
Hey,
You know
hey
what
guys,
slows them
I
down?
just, I'm sorry, we
I'll tell
have,
you
we
what
have
slows them
a,
down, a wheelbarrow.
we have
I
a
put
lot,
a wheelbarrow out there.
we have a lot of
slow
people
down.
that wanna speak. It's important that we do so respectfully and try not to interrupt one another. I'd also love for everyone to introduce themselves.
Okay, my name's Gary Johannes.
Thank you, I appreciate that, and your comments. Yes, please.
okay, my name is Deborah Eno, I live on Roxbury Mountain Road, I know what fast traffic is like, and first and foremost, I wanna say, I know you're doing what you feel is best, but I strongly suggest, I've been in this position myself, when you have more sheriffs out there, it's like, ooh, okay? That makes it personal to that person, okay? Going over speed limits, they're gonna do what they feel they need to do in the moment, okay? I understand absolutely going through, a village with a population, that the speed limit's gotta be low and people need to be aware. The road is the most dangerous place, okay? And, I strongly suggest that you ask the sheriffs to be more local, because it makes it personable, and it gets people thinking, oh, you know, I don't wanna have to pay a fine that goes upon my
Thank you.
insurance and all. The other thing, I wasn't aware of the speed bumps. I've been in Arizona with my daughter for almost 2 months. And I felt like the sign coming down was too close to where the speed, there wasn't enough warning that it was
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
That one, I did get slowed right down. But the
That's
next
helpful
one,
feedback, thank you.
but the next one, again, I slowed down. I have a Jetta Volkswagen, and it scraped the bottom of my car,
Yeah.
okay?
And that is entirely because they are not the right thing for that location.
And just listening to you now,
Yeah.
the work that they did, you absolutely need to refuse to pay for that. They didn't do it right.
We are working with the contractor with the hopes that they will install what we wanted for the contract price in the spring.
And
I'm sorry, I don't wanna cut you off, but I wanna give other people an opportunity to
okay,
speak.
so, okay, basically, they do need to be 3 inches high. My
And-
car's low. many
Yeah,
other
well,
people-
and when they become wider, sorry, when they become wider, you're not ever straddling the bump, right, which is one of the problems we're
And
having now.
actually, when I came back up from the post office, that's what I had, that's, remembering that,
Yeah,
I had to go,
kitty corner,
yeah,
yeah. Thank you,
okay.
yes.
Peter Oliver, I live on Lincoln Gap Road, where we also have a speed-related issue, which
Yeah.
last year resolved. But that aside, I'm curious about why you chose to do speed humps in some areas and why you did the tables in other areas. The tables seem to work, so why not tables everywhere?
Yeah. Well, the table at the bottom of the trail up to the school is very purposeful because it facilitates the crosswalk being on top of it. And you wanna say something?
No, I was gonna say, I think that's why we were going for a speed table on this one too, right?
I don't recall us talking about
We
putting
talked
a
about it,
crosswalk on that speed table, but we had sort of this notion that we would use the humps, which slow you down like maybe a little bit more on entering the village. And then the tables just sort of maintain that gradual speed a little more easily. So that was our thought process there, knowing that we needed one that facilitated a crosswalk. But it would have been, I mean, if they had screwed up and made them all tables, this would have been great.
That direction. Why not replace all the tables?
Well, we can talk about it. The speed tables are almost twice as wide, so the cost would go up.
Yeah, they're more
Considerably.
expensive.
You want a biker to go over those things and
Go ass over tea kettle like.
No.
Speed
no,
humps.
We
We're talk-
don't want
So we're
that.
not talking about the speed bumps that are there. Those are being removed tomorrow.
Yeah,
We're
yeah, yeah.
replacing them
Yeah.
with speed humps, which are different.
Do the table instead, because you're
Well,
gonna have.
the hump is going to be really gradual as well. It just won't flatten at the top.
Right.
And is also designed to be used at 25 miles an hour. Yes, please.
Okay, hi, my name is Mike Fennelly. A couple quick questions with regards to this. I highly recommend that we have a written plan for the design of this, because it is cowboyed right now. Like, oh, we'll do this and we'll do that. And if we do not have a written plan from a liability standpoint, the instant someone damages their vehicle or gets hurt, they're gonna go to the town and say, how did, what? Where's the traffic engineer agreed upon plan for this thing that hurt me or my car? Okay, so I really think it's important from a liability standpoint that there's a plan from an engineer, not ad hoc decisions by a group of people that are not experts in that field. I would not want to design a foundation, okay, something that that leaves us liability. Secondly, the exact implementation should be done by, the design should be done by an engineer, and it should be signed off. And the fact that something got built, we figured it out, whatever, that's okay. But there's one other thing on the heading out past the school, heading up the hill, there's a speed bump. Right when you're going from 25 to 35 or 40, whatever that speed is on that hill. And having a speed bump entering that other speed zone is crazy. There may be an alternative way to do it, and that's why I asked about an engineering plan. Because an engineer would say, this is the right thing to do. Anyway, cut myself short.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah. In the back.
Bear with me, I'm talking very very easily. My name is Carol Charles, and I thought it would be really useful to tell you my experience that I had on Sunday afternoon. I've been through the village, so I've been over the humps one time before. I came in off of Route 100, and I slowed down because you have to, and I knew the bump was there. There were two cars behind me coming in off of Route 100, and I noticed that the bump was tapered off on the right-hand side as I was coming in, so I thought, shh, I'm gonna scoot over on that side and ride that bump a little bit more smoothly, because I could. Thank God I did that, because New Hampshire was coming in like a bat out of hell, really hot coming in behind me, and I had to slow, obviously, like down to 5, just going over it, and that car had to, I don't know if he slammed on the brakes, but had to swerve around me into the oncoming traffic. And as I was coming through, after I got over the hump, he was at the backside of my rear, and fortunately there was no oncoming traffic coming. It was just me and him, and he pulled way back. He just dropped way back, because I'm sure it shook the heck out of him like it did me, and I'm still rather shook up about it. So I feel that I'm not here to say it's right or it's wrong. I understand the safety of all of it, and I appreciate that. Some will be safe, and some of us won't right now. That's it.
Sorry that happened to you. And thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yes, please, Lisa.
So, I would love to reiterate what everybody has said as far as.
Stand up, we can't hear you, please.
I'm not standing. My name's Lisa. I live in Warren Village. Who said you? I live in Warren Village, and I also appreciate what you have done as far as taking into consideration the needs of the village. I think you've heard that the ones on Brook Road don't work. And, I feel like the signs have to be you have to give people more warning. And it says 10 miles an hour, but, I'm just coming down from the dog park. And I can't go over that bump even at 6 miles an hour without scraping the bottom of my car. So, you've heard all this. I would like to know, and then I have, something else a little related. I would like to know, what is going to be your process going forward to make sure that we have the right kind of speed humps or tables or whatever they're called, with the right signage, with the correct speed limit. And I think those are three things that are missing here. The tables aren't correct, or the bumps aren't correct, the speed limit isn't correct, and the signage is not helping people get over them.
Needs to be a plan.
Yeah, there needs to be a plan. And I came in one day and I said, because I pay attention sometimes, and I came in and I said, so how did you decide where these tables are gonna go? And I think Camilla heard me. And I thought you said, well, we went around town, and we did some research, and this is what we decided. And we had public meetings, which I missed. And I don't think, it's clear that wasn't sufficient, and you've learned your lesson. Also, just having a meeting is not public input. Because a lot of people can't come, or they see something, on the agenda, but they don't know what decisions are going to be made. And I would have appreciated, hey, the town is going to do this big thing. Put a thing on Front Porch Forum or the paper. Does anybody read the paper anymore? I don't know. But this is what our plans are.
I think,
Give people a chance to really, no, there's more than one way to communicate, and just having a meeting isn't enough. So that would be my request to you.
We have a newsletter now.
Oh, you all should sign up,
Yes.
please.
yeah.
So just
Lisa,
as
just
communication
more than
Thank you.
forms
I-
moving forward, there's another way to communicate, which we are exploring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then down the street, the other people, there's
Lisa,
other work being done, nobody knows about it until the day before.
So,
That's good feedback, thank you, Lisa,
Yeah.
we
Could
appreciate
you
it.
put this
Thank
on
you.
the town meeting agenda?
put
What?
this on the town,
So-
this being.
Could you put this discussion on the town meeting agenda before the spring construction?
That sounds good to me.
So
part of,
people can go to town meeting also.
part of what happened in this particular case had to do with using grant funds and the timeline there. Whether it was right or wrong, that was motivation, grant funds running out. We had the large grant that we got to do the traffic calming, that the striping was done. The striping used a small amount of it. We knew that we had the opportunity to use more of it to continue what needed to be done, since it wasn't completely working. And so that's what pushed the time, plus the paving season. So in this case, that's why it was pushed so big. And I think every question that this board, any select board, answers or votes on, I always sit here and I say, well, the residents, the taxpayers, are the ones who really get to make the decision. So which questions do we take to the public, and which questions or which decisions do we make just through public meetings? literally anything you can come up with, I'm sure, is important to some people in this room, and you would want to have a vote. You'd want to have a town vote on it. We can't do that for every decision we make. So we find ourselves in the position sometimes of having to decide without that, with only public meetings.
We're gonna run out of time pretty soon. Jess Washington has had her hand up for a long time online, so I'm gonna let her chime in. And then we'll take maybe 2 more comments. Jess?
Hi, I wanted to start off by saying thank you to the select board, for attempting to solve the problem that I think most people in this room have been able to acknowledge at one point or another, that there is, excessive speed in Warren Village. I think that I hear that, you are all telling us that you were feeling personally victimized by the speed bumps on Brook Hill Road. And that is reasonable. They do feel a little aggressive how they were put in. I think that personally, the speed bump out in front of my house at the north end of Warren Village, if anybody doesn't know where I live, is doing exactly what the select board intended it to do, which is slow people down both coming into the village and leaving the village. Because I think that a lot of people in this room have also had close calls at the intersection by my house. I hear honking, I hear tires screeching, I heard the town sign got hit, not once, but twice. My fence got hit last year, so clearly there is excessive speeding. There are issues happening at the entrance to Warren Village. We need to be aware, we need to slow down when we enter that stop sign. It's not a yield. We need to not cut the corner coming into Warren Village, and VTrans isn't solving the problem. So 50 feet off of that road is where the select board put a speed bump. And it honestly feels so much safer at my house, other than the people who decide that they want to blare their horn when they go over the speed bump, which I think will stop, or the people that want to speed up around the blind corner because they don't like the speed bump, which I also think will stop. It feels a lot safer walking around Warren Village for me. You know, I understand that it is new and change is hard. And I remember when they put in the cow crossing light, and everyone was so upset about that. And a lot of you are thinking, what cow crossing light? And I would say exactly, because change is hard. But I think that over time, like when we get the bumps the way that we want them to and have them doing what we want them to, I think that they're great. There are 6 new signs outside of my house, 6. So if you did not see those signs, then I think you need to reflect on, you know, what you're looking at when you come into the village. I think that, you know, somebody reflected, it's coming off of a 50. Yeah, I know, into a 25, where there are 3 houses with kids. I think that, that we all need to slow down. You know, I think a lot of people have reflected that, why don't they just change the speed limit? I think that would be great. Let's change the speed limit and keep the speed bumps, and then people have to go slower and can't complain that they have to slow down. I think that there are just a lot of kids, a lot of people, a lot of elderly and young people trying to coexist in a small town. I am so sorry if it takes you another few seconds to get the quarter mile from one end of the village to the other, or if you have to slow down to get your morning coffee at the Warren store. But I really appreciate all of you for slowing down, and I really appreciate it for the town of Warren to make an effort in solving this problem. So I hear your hardships, and I really thank you for your time and effort.
Thank you.
Yeah. Does anybody think we should not have traffic calming measures? Will you recognize? I only say that because everybody's wasting time.
People that would like to speak.
Okay.
I vote for
Please.
Mike.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Mike Bridgewater. I live on Lincoln Gap Road. We all know that speeding is a huge issue here that we've tried to address for years. First of all, I think, Devin, thank you and the board for recognizing the angst that everybody has in this room about the sharpness of the two bumps. They're going to be removed. This is awesome. However, looking forward, and I want to look back a little bit and give you some perspective. When we did the remedial work in the village here, the VD 18 grant, we spent 2 years with public input. We had 2 charrettes. We worked with the state. We had a grant, and this was after Irene when the roads got all screwed up. I'd like to say that, and this is a fact, that speed by the Warren store, through the Pitcher Inn, was clocked at an average of 35 miles an hour. Once we did that remedial work, the speed calming went to 14 miles an hour. So it clearly works. And I think that what has been proposed is awesome. We all recognize that. However, there are a few suggestions that I'd like to make that I've heard from several others. One is, when you look at coming down the Brook Road, the East Warren Road, and you see the first electronic signs, if you put a rumble strip in there, and that's just little strips in the road, it gives you a physical and auditory warning that you need to slow down. Not a speed bump, but it definitely gets your attention. Secondly, we need to modify the speed in the village. You go 40 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, and then now a 10 with the bumps. We should reduce the speed in the village to 15 or 20 miles an hour. 25 miles an hour is a lot. And there should be a stop sign where there's a yield sign, where the intersection to the village road is, because people just blast right through there. To Gary's point, it's just terribly unsafe, and we've witnessed it time and time again.
Will you clarify where you mean, Mike?
You know where the
Brook
yield
and
sign
Main?
is, right down here at the intersection?
At Brook and Main?
Yeah.
Okay, Brook and Main, yeah.
And, there's a ton of signage, which, when we were here years ago, from Lincoln Gap, said, oh, we can't put signs in there, too many signs, it's this and that. The signage needs to be more critically placed, and earlier warning. We don't need, porcupines of signs all up and down the road. So those are my comments, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, we have time for one more. Yeah, Quail, please.
My name is Quail and I live on Airport Road in Warren. My question about going forward with the bumps is consideration for winter time, travel going up Brook Road and that last speed hump that is going up the hill. First, how plows are going to deal with it, and also for those of us that work past 10 o'clock at night, how we're going to travel up that road trying to get a little bit of speed so that we can make it up the hill and not get stuck with a speed bump there. And just to think about that in the future.
I think it will be greatly improved with the hump instead of the bump, because you won't have to slow down as much, and that's good.
But
we
I
have
think, yeah,
talked
it's-
extensively with our road crew
Yeah,
about.
I just think even
Yeah.
without it, you can, people that travel that road,
Yeah.
without it, it's a challenge. I've myself have gone up there 6 and 7 times trying to get runs to get enough speed. And I don't speed through town. It's not like I'm going 60 up the hill. You can't get to 60, but you do need to go above 20 to make it all the way to the top, even with studded snow tires.
And we have bigger trucks too that.
Okay. So I just think
Thanks.
about
Yeah.
that also.
Yep.
Consider that.
Yeah, we're already 10 minutes over our allotted time. This has been really helpful for us. Thank you all for your constructive feedback. We are disappointed that what we got isn't what we wanted, and we're sorry for the trouble that it's caused. It will be better tomorrow, after tomorrow,
And we learn
we'll keep
from
you-
everything we do.
we'll keep you informed on how it goes.
Thank you for trying.
Thanks. I'm just going to clear out a little bit.
You're welcome to stay for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's same for the rest.
I like to Yeah, it did, I looked back, I can't find where maybe, but to your point, let's re-engage with that.
Presence in the.
We already found this
at the yeah, I don't,
park
parking lot at the today.
Really?
Yeah. So I was gonna put something in there.
No, I appreciate it.
It's a one-on-one.
Okay.
I appreciate you saying that. Well, I mean, like I know I need to, I'm just getting more and more sort of understanding what's happening.
I know a
But
lot
like,
of people are agreement, so they don't wanna deal with that.
no, I understand, but I wrote down police presence. That's a big thing about it. That he picked up.
Yeah.
In the what?
In the speed making, I can slow down.
Okay, we are gonna move on to STR compliance letter and registration form approval. All right. Jim. You don't have anything to do with this one? Nice, yeah?
Just hi, Jim.
Me.
And Carrie?
Me,
It's not
Carrie.
supposed-
It's not supposed to be me, but.
It's not supposed to be.
It's my world. So basically, Carrie and I had a 2-hour training with Granicus last week, to help, create the registration form that, STR owners will have to fill out. That's in your folder. And then the letter that you're looking at is what Granicus calls the compliance letter. So this is the letter that every short-term rental that's been identified by Granicus via some type of rental platform will receive. Right now, we have no way of identifying people who don't use a platform unless we send a compliance letter to every single person on the grand list, which they don't recommend we do.
Why not? I'm sorry.
Wait, you're not part of this meeting.
I tried to invite you.
They said that a lot of times it gets out by word of mouth and people will eventually get their STR registered.
Well, if they're not
So,
advertising.
We still have a 20% problem
Yes.
of people that aren't identified, so I think that it would behoove the
Already,
town-
you mean?
Yeah. Send it out to the grand list so that everybody is aware you need to register.
I'm
Unless
curious, what's the
it's
argument?
cost some,
Yeah, what's the
stupid amount of
argument to
money.
not do that? Did they say?
They didn't say.
Like, is there a downside?
Is it just
It's gonna be
cost?
expensive.
I think it's a cost, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
cost to send
Do
it.
we know what the cost? Like, we've
Well,
just
we
done
just
it
sent
a
the
couple of times. What does it cost? us?
Well,
$600
it's
to
bulk
do that.
mailing, it's $600-ish.
Okay.
We'd have to change the letter slightly,
Exactly,
but
yeah.
yeah.
The benefit
For
of this
600
letter is that it's generated from the grant, so we basically give them our letter and they generate the letter and mail it from their system.
they can't say they weren't informed
Oh, right,
if we send
Right.
everybody
so
a letter.
they send them.
But what Rebecca's saying is that if we do it the way Granicus
Yeah.
suggests, they deal with it.
They do,
Yeah.
If we do the entire grand list,
then we
we're
have to
gonna
do
do
it.
it.
I do not
We're-
have the capacity for this.
Yeah.
We're really
I
good at
don't.
folding and stamping.
And I didn't
We can have
didn't
a
know
party.
that this was gonna be on my lap. We've hired an SDR administrator,
Yeah.
but she's learning just like
gotta
I'm
get set
learning.
Yeah.
And she's only part-time, and so it's tough, it's really tough.
Well,
So-
and the planning district is willing to participate in some capacity. I don't know if that's on data analysis or this onboarding process, but
So Jim,
Data
wait, can I
analysis.
just go back to your 20% thing? So your feeling is that, so right now they're sweeping, they've been doing the sweep. And
20%
what's
of
the
them,
s-
they don't know who to mail to.
20%,
So they've
how?
identified it, but they don't know, they cannot tie it back to the grand list.
So it's a
How
rental
weird is
on
that?
VRBO or one of those.
Yeah.
And they can't,
and they can't connect it to the grand list. I mean, some of them are, which is what we're hoping that between myself and Carrie and whoever else
Yeah.
wants to help, you know, we can update Granicus list. We can tell them, okay,
Right.
here.
We-
And we'll probably get another 18% when we do that. Or we say, send it out to everybody and see where we end up.
What if we sort of compromise and we send it to Granicus list? You guys work on identifying the unknowns, and we put it in the paper, and we put it on Front Porch Forum, and we
Do other
post
outreach.
it. Yeah, do other
That's
outreach.
another way to do it.
Yeah.
Because I also just don't
something
like the
needs to
waste
happen.
of sending, you know,
On paper.
don't send me something that I have to throw away because I don't have short-term
not
rentals.
Right,
permanent
but
to me.
Just
but
for
you
that,
still
I just
need
don't
to
know if we're
make-
gonna get that 20% in that.
Yeah, but everybody needs to be aware that they need to do it too, if they're
Right.
going to choose to do it. So
So
You're
then
gonna-
it's,
Don't get far without
you're gonna do that through Front Porch Forum?
Financing. I think,
Thanks.
Or you're gonna do it through a letter from the town that says, hey, look, we have a new ordinance in place.
So here's my great idea that I've been working on for years and haven't done yet, is when we send out our tax bills, this is what this property in Maine does. There's a second sheet that comes with it with all kinds of information about registering your dog, or getting your dog license, about registering your STR, doing all of that, and just kind of a little blurb about, you know, what's going on, what people need to know.
Are you adding that to the project list?
Yeah, I think didn't I task you
I
for
think
that?
you-
I think that's a fantastic idea.
But I think
Does
it goes with the
support
tax
that?
bills, so that will go to all of your
Does
property.
NEMRIC support that?
Yeah, is there
That's a
a way
good
to put,
question, I don't
you
know.
know,
Huh.
I think
extra
it'd be-
information into something that NEMRIC is
Page
gonna-
2 that they're printing anyway.
So maybe for now, to get this going, we let Granicus push the letter out, and then
And we do
Could
all
we
those other
see
we
things.
do all the other
Sure.
outreach.
That's-
And then include it in the tax bill.
Could we just
Maybe
see
put
what
it in the
Stowe
tax
did for their registration, like what they did for communications too?
Yeah, we
Could,
could
but
check
they
in.
have a lot more money than we do.
Well,
Harry,
yes,
you
they do
would-
have more money,
No,
but
but you're right, we should always be looking around at other
like
towns that
maybe
do
they
it.
had an approach that we could
Right,
also do.
Well,
Perry, you
I
had a-
know what Killington
Quail
did,
had something
right?
too.
Killington, they did it by hand, right? They had a person they assigned kind of full-time, go figure these out. Now, they didn't use Granicus, they used another vendor.
Yeah.
But, you know, they
But
just.
we have you, Jim.
well, for a little while anyway.
Perry, what did you wanna
Did you say
say?
the mailing to everybody was $600?
$600.
So if you pick up 3 people at 200,
Ish. I'm not, that was just
Yeah.
what we.
I think the
That was
other
for the
piece,
postcards.
but the other
There's
piece that
labor in
isn't the
it, too.
financial piece is like, we've been stuffing envelopes and pasting
Yeah.
labels on things for
you can get people to do
the
that
last
for
2
you.
months.
You can pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
So you get 5 people.
Perry's gonna do it.
I'll
just
find
kidding.
somebody
I'm
who can
just
say to do it.
Next select
So-
board meeting, we'll just have a
Quail-
arts and
Quail has
crafts
something
time.
too.
Yes, the point being that the cost to mail it to everyone may not prohibit.
Maybe
us
worth
doing
it,
It
is
may
what
be
you're
worth
saying.
Staff that we have.
Maybe
Right, but
it.
at a $200 fee, if there's 20% missing, you pick up 5 is $1,000 that you wouldn't have gotten.
Yeah,
That pays for the mailing.
right.
And people
Okay,
that
let's
stuff the
keep
envelope.
that in consideration, Quail.
So my question is, off the top of my head, I really like Camilla's idea because I think that you have people that are currently not doing it but might be thinking about it. And those people aren't gonna be on any of those other
Other lists.
discussions, whereas if they're getting a tax bill in Warren, they're going to receive that.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So I would
I
speak in
agree. I think that's a
favor of
great idea.
Well, I
that
think we can
because
do
I
that
do think
anyway,
some
but-
people that are either planning on doing something different with their property or people that might be planning to buy here are gonna look at I mean, that I don't know how to
Yeah.
Well,
address
that,
those, but I
we
do
might
think
find that on the website,
Yeah.
right?
Right,
If they're looking
so,
at buying here. And originally, if the timing had all worked out, that was the plan. This letter was gonna go in the tax bill.
Yeah.
So, I think let's read the letter, let's read
Okay.
the
Yeah.
application and work through that and then sort of decide at the end how we wanna do it. And we hear you. It's not supposed to be on.
So.
Do you have one of these, Jim?
No, that's okay. Rebecca, how can I help you? I mean, how can I assist?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, because it's really, it probably will be Carrie.
Please help
Which
Carrie.
is fine, I guess,
I think after tonight, you know, we won't know, but I'll be in touch. How's that sound?
perfect.
Okay.
However I can help,
Okay.
just let me know.
This
Thank
is
you.
nice, this is very clean and professional looking. Is this a Granicus
Yeah,
form? Okay.
Yeah, that was part of our training.
Should we
last
read
week.
the letter first or the form?
I'm reading the letter.
I mean, this will be super helpful for the fire department.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting in front of the house for hours waiting to get a phone number.
This looks great to me.
The only thing I had a question on, just, do we have the ordinance on hand? Action required, one of the bullet points is certification of compliance with basic life safety and operational standards. I don't think that's the way it's written in the,
So, yeah,
and I
let
just
me,
want to be sure that we're clear so everybody
pull up the
understands.
ordinance.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it speaks more to fire
It's very
safety
specific.
and.
well, no, I think it talks about, yeah, electrical and
Fire safety.
pathway, doorways not being blocked, right?
I forgot where we landed in the ordinance too on the occupancy versus
Yeah.
parking spots. We just
We-
opted against that.
No, we
Yes.
just said you had
But we
to
have-
name the number of parking spots,
Yes,
and then if
right.
you have more than that,
Thank you. Reminding me.
but if there are more cars than you named, or if
So,
they're in the road.
Camilla, you were, I'm sorry.
So under action required, it says certification of compliance with basic life safety and operational standards. Can you relate that back to the ordinance for me?
So I'm wondering if it's the attestation,
I think it is.
which is just all exterior doors must be operational, passageways to exterior doors must be clear and unobstructed, electrical systems must be serviceable with no visible defects, and then the solid fuel burning ordinance.
Right. So because we've had a lot of feedback on this and where we landed in terms of level of attestation and compliance and all that, I'm a little concerned that the way we wrote it just doesn't, it's not clear
Okay.
what we're referring to, or it could be ambiguous.
How else could it be though? That's quite a list. Would
Uh,
you put them all in there? Or would
I-
you say with the standards as stated
listed,
in?
I think I would be that specific.
I'll interrupt. Is it possible to see the document you're working from? Can you share a screen or can it be emailed? It's a public meeting, it's a public doc.
Yeah, I can email it to you, Lisa.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Is the wording in the acknowledgement from the, looks like it's directly from the ordinance.
Sorry, where is it?
The acknowledgement section on page 3 just lists all the things you're acknowledging. Which gets into the details of,
It doesn't talk about the basic life safety and operational standards.
What
It
is the
doesn't.
proof of compliance that they would provide?
there's a listed document they'd submit. That's their certification.
But I don't think we call for that in our
But is that an
ordinance.
actual document that people have? I
No,
feel like if I
no,
were
and that's,
registering, I wouldn't know what that is.
Yeah.
I agree.
So with the, Carrie worked on the application and I worked on the letter. And we did have some questions for, Granicus, cause there's some questions that we don't know how to change the question. So like,
Oh, that would
that
reword
is-
the question on
exactly,
this.
Exactly,
So this is from their template, so this
Yeah.
has to be
Yeah.
one of their documents.
yeah.
The proof of compliance with short-term rental safety health.
We didn't require the state to do a fire safety inspection, did we?
No, we did not,
That's also listed.
because we were told not to.
Right.
That's on here?
That's in the required document submissions.
Oh, in the application, you mean?
Yeah.
which must have
Yeah.
been the template, so we would have to update that.
Oh, we should definitely, where is that?
On the very
4.
last page.
Oh, I can turn the page. Right. Right, State Division of Fire Safety Inspection by the State. I mean, that's just, this goes back to the difference between a commercial lodging facility, which is required to have these, and rental property that are not at the moment. And I know there are a lot of people who would like us to require it, but we've been told that the Division of
enforce
Fire
it.
Safety is not going to provide them readily, so we can't be disqualifying people for something they can't get.
So these are probably just part of the template, we should
Yeah,
take them
yeah,
out.
so we should.
But the wording from our ordinance looks like you put it in here under the acknowledgement.
So,
That looks
so
like-
they're
I don't wanna
taking-
jump around, I don't wanna jump
That's
around
okay,
too
but we're
much.
taking out State Division of Fire Safety Inspection, because we can't.
But let's not,
What do you, sorry, you don't wanna
I'm
do?
just afraid we're jumping around if we're gonna go through that whole list right now.
Oh, it looked like you guys were all on the same one.
I jumped around, I'm sorry. Camilla's
I-
still on
I'm
the
just,
letter.
yeah, I'm still on the letter
Oh.
and trying to connect it to, trying to connect action required. They're supposed to submit certification of compliance with basic life safety and operational standards. What does that look like? What are we asking for?
I think it's the acknowledgement on page 3 is what I would suggest. And we should just change the wording to match that. Because these are all the things we asked them to certify
Right.
in the ordinance.
Yeah,
And so I would
so we need to
strike-
add the would.
Strike this thing in the required documents, which aligns with this wording. So in the required documents, it says, is proof of compliance, which aligns with this certification of compliance. Strike that and just write in acknowledgement of short-term rental rules and regulations, which is what they're really signing, which is what matches the ordinance.
Okay, so then the required documents just becomes the declaration of insurance coverage and short-term rental property map.
Which, did we even require them to do the short-term map?
I think we,
Did we?
I think we asked for
Oh.
a map
mean, it would
in
be nice,
certain
but I'm not sure
Is
we
that
did.
what's in the ordinance? I don't know that we did end up keeping that.
So, and then proof of compliance with short-term rental safety, health, and financial obligations of the Vermont Department of Health and Fire Safety
Strike that.
is the verbiage that comes over into the action required.
Right, so there's not a separate document, that's the
So
signing.
there's no
of this document.
document, it's just in the action required.
So strike the first 3 under required documents.
Yeah.
Except that I think we do ask for self-attestation
We do.
of
Right.
proof of compliance with short-term rental safety, blah, blah, like this is
Right, but
the only
that's-
thing
that's
that we
the
can
acknowledgement
actually-
of
That's
Oh.
the acknowledgement.
I think that's
yeah.
what's in the acknowledgement.
It
That's
needs to
the-
be in the wording of the things they're
The
acknowledging,
acknowledgement
not
of short-term
proof.
rental rules, that should be something that they sign.
Well, I guess that speaks to what we don't know, how this is executed on the backside. Like, is there a separate document that they sign that then gets uploaded that is the acknowledgement of short-term rental rules and regulations, right? Like, does that populate a PDF that you sign and reattach?
Well, it looks like they signed
It
this.
signs,
Yeah.
you sign it right on here. the other
Yeah.
back. This is just Carrie's.
Oh,
So this
sorry,
document
I
is the
missed that.
acknowledgement.
I see.
So you really just need to fill out this document and then provide proof of insurance. And we just need to check if we still require them to do a property map or not.
I'm not
don't
finding
think we did.
it.
Yeah, I think we didn't. So it's really
It's not
just,
in there.
I'm not seeing it, but I haven't done
I don't
sure.
think we did.
Well, that's okay, and we can lean on Granicus and Carrie to do that. You can just take these notes, you don't have to solve the problem right now.
yeah, so,
No, I'm just saying I don't see it in the
Ordinance.
In the
SDR.
ordinance,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we did it.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
We talked about it, but we didn't. So this document's clean. All we need to do is strike all of the required documents except insurance. Confirm that this is from the ordinance, which it very much looks like it is, in the acknowledgement. And then update the letter to say you need to sign the STR license application, which includes an acknowledgement of all the stuff that we put into the ordinance. Knox box,
Say that one more time, Harvey. Sign the,
So you need to sign the STR license application in Granicus. I'm assuming this is in the software, right?
There'll be a link to our website, but yeah.
And in signing this, you are acknowledging all the stuff that we put in,
attesting to
The
the
ordinance.
associated,
yeah, everything, knockbox, fire, everything that, basically all the wording from the
attesting
ordinance.
to compliance with the ordinance.
Yeah, exactly, all the pieces.
So everything in paragraph 4, number 5, Becca, should be listed under this acknowledgement.
Okay.
And the only other document they need then is proof of insurance.
Say, what's the paragraph again?
Attestation that the STR is in compliance, it's paragraph 4, number 5.
Paragraph 4, number 5.
All exterior doors, sorry.
Just curious about the logistics
have
of
that
it, like,
here.
under support and submission, do they have to, create an account and then, like, have a password? Is that part of it, or is it?
That is a great, I was just trying to think about going through that host compliance site, and I don't know,
No?
I never saw a user, kind of a user entry field in there.
Because it says you can go scan the QR and then go to the
So
registration
basically,
online.
the QR code, Carrie and I were thinking that, when we start to get this out, like, we could put a QR code here that would take you to the website that has the application, or wherever we're embedding the link to the application.
But the application is handwritten, or is it like typed
No,
out
it's
on like
on-
a form?
It's online.
Yeah.
And
It's
do you have,
literally a form online.
It's on Granicus's website.
and is there a password? What I'm
Yeah.
curious about
That's
is
a
if
good
they're going to have to, have submit an email address and have an applicant and then have a password and all that stuff, because it might make sense to tell people ahead of time that they're going to have to sign
Yeah,
up.
it's, I'd have to ask Carrie, because like I said, she did the application.
Right, are they creating
That's
an
a good
account, or are they just
Kind of seems
Just if we
filling out
can
an
tell them
application?
ahead of time what they're going to have to do. You're going to have to
Yeah.
create an account to do this and blah, blah,
I
blah,
don't
blah,
think
blah.
they're gonna have to
Okay.
create an account.
Great.
But I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
It's,
Just-
I think it's the
but
question
that-
of like whether they can start the application and then go find all the documents and then come back and finish it if they have to upload things, or like,
Right.
they might
Yeah.
not have the proof of insurance readily
Right, right.
I'm gonna
available.
make a note to ask Carrie that question.
Right, so that would require having an account, so you could go
Right.
back to the
Right.
information that you've saved online.
And also, what happens the following year? Do you,
Can you just go back to your website, to the site, and
your
like
account and modify
just
it?
update it, or
Right.
if anything changes.
Right,
So we can update the letter to basically say you need to go fill this thing out,
Yeah,
and that's basically your
and
responsibility.
you're going to need these things.
And give
in
the
order
mechanics of
to-
how you do it,
Yeah.
and what else you'd need, yeah.
and then there's also, I'm curious if the letter should speak at all to this agency that we saw at the town fair, that's sort of helping people work through the compliance piece from the state
The one
regs.
that's out there on the,
Yeah, do you remember?
the VTSTR.
If you're having trouble or need more information, feel free to visit this.
I don't know if we wanna put that in our letter.
Is it a state agency?
There's a third-party company that's sort of helping owners of STRs work through the compliance
Oh, they
piece
get
with
paid.
these new
Yeah.
regulations.
They're like a paid
I
consultant.
think so. Are they paid?
I don't know if they're paid
They're
or
also
not,
hosting
but-
like a bunch of roundtables for towns that are interested with Granicus.
Yeah, they're doing a bunch of good work.
Oh,
Um,
They gave me free maple syrup.
well, all right. Then they must be getting paid.
Somebody's getting paid.
So Carrie's online.
Oh,
Yay,
thank
Carrie.
goodness.
So she said there's no login required to fill out the application, and you can save and go back to finish it another time. And there's a progress bar.
Okay.
So
Okay.
There's no username and password? You
There's no
don't
username
build
and
an
password.
account?
So how
So how do you go back
that-
in?
there-
Must be by address.
Fundamentally, there has to be.
Unless it's parcel ID
Yeah.
Well,
or address ID and they save the file to the address.
Or email.
or yeah.
Or email.
I mean, that opens you
Let's-
up to a
what-
huge security issue.
Let's ask.
I go in and I just update
We don't
some.
know the answer per se. So there's another piece to this application is the payment.
Uh-huh.
And so the town has to set up a payment account within this application so that people can pay the fee
Okay.
online.
And is that a
Um,
thing that Does Granicus facilitate that
So
for us?
no, that's something that we have to do on our end.
Through our website?
No,
Oh,
through,
sorry,
they want us to use an account called Swipe. It's easy, it's very user-friendly. I just know that there's hesitation to have online portals, payment portals. And so,
And that's our only option.
I mean, people can mail in checks,
As I
but,
recall, yeah,
you know, they're
but-
gonna do this application online, and then we're gonna have, you
Yeah.
know,
That's
155 people that haven't paid their, you know,
Yeah,
their
that's what I
ordinance yet.
remember. And is there a cost charge for swipe? Yeah.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a
So
percentage.
then we have to
Always a charge.
factor that in.
Mhm.
That maple syrup wasn't free. It's probably what, 3-5%, something like that?
Mhm.
3%.
3%
Yeah.
like we see.
So are we adding that
On
to
daycares.
their fee?
If they wanna pay via that service, we are within our right to do so.
I'm asking us whether we wanna do that.
Yeah.
I would. It's not the first year anyway. We can revisit the fees after, but
So we'll have to put that in the budget.
I would be inclined not to as well, knowing that our registration fee covers our costs. More than covers our costs.
We hope.
We hope.
We hope.
until Carrie has to work full-time.
You should be consistent with the way you pay your taxes. If you're gonna charge for a credit card, or you're gonna charge for swipe, you charge. And just because you're an STR, you don't have to pay. I would hope that we keep that consistent.
What do we do for
No, I
taxes?
just,
Yeah, what do we do? Taxes?
I don't know.
I think that if you pay online, I think it's a 2%.
It's included in the, you pay the fee.
yeah.
I agree
It's a
that we should be
convenience
consistent.
charge.
It
You
is.
know, it's like, it's convenience
Yeah.
charge, so
Yeah.
like, it's what people expect. I don't think it's a big deal.
Right.
It's mostly across the board now.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Harry?
What type of insurance policy are you looking for? Does it say in the letter?
Short term, yes, it
This has come up before.
says in the,
It
Does it
doesn't
need
actually
to-
say.
It doesn't say.
It doesn't
and-
say on the application. That's one of the questions I had.
Like
Is it should,
liability or
should be.
fire or
it's like
Commercial liability insurance coverage documentation.
up to what amount?
Why don't we?
It must be in the ordinance if we.
no, it's not an amount.
Because if people don't have a policy, they have to go to the agent and say, hey, I need
Yeah.
a policy, or they have to make sure they have the right one.
Yeah.
Well, it's also not listed in our acknowledgement of rules and regulations of what that insurance should be, so we should either be more clear here in the required document submission, or we should list it in the acknowledgement section as like a very specific standard.
Both.
Both.
All right, how do we get a sense, I have no idea what we require. How do we,
Does
I mean,
it
again-
say in the ordinance?
No.
Seems like it does.
Because what
No,
are we
it does
trying to
not.
cover?
it just says
Like, and who are we trying to protect?
I think it says a copy of the certificate of insurance showing commercial liability coverage.
Coverage.
I think we just want to know that they have liability coverage.
Liability coverage.
commercial
liability.
liability
Commercial
coverage.
is different than
Oh,
residential
Yes.
liability.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, because I
That-
have
that I know
fire,
is a
but I don't
big
have
hang up for a lot of
liability,
people.
I don't think. I'd have to ask the agent.
You would have liability, but not necessarily commercial liability.
Yeah, even if you did have.
It is commercial because
It's
it jumped.
Oh, okay.
What does Airbnb require as like if you're going to rent your space, which is, I'm assuming most of the people are using a platform like that also, they're gonna have certain amounts of requirements as well, just to cover themselves, so we probably need, they already have that document and provided that to one of those
I think
companies.
Airbnb covers it in their fees, that's why they charge a fee. And a lot of people right now are getting additional coverage on top
Additional.
of that
Yeah.
because
Not
Airbnb
enough.
doesn't always cover the
Actual
amount that they want covered.
Well, so like I just booked a VRBO, right? And they ask if I want to buy insurance for my rental, which allows like anything that happens there, and also if I need to cancel for some approved reason, and that's covered through the VRBO platform, like you're suggesting,
Right.
not
But
That's
that's different than the
different.
What if they
owner,
burn the
not
place
through the
down?
owner. Yeah.
Right.
that's
So
different than
it's
the owner's
commercial
liability
general
policy.
liability. Right.
Right, so this
That
is
we want them
commercial,
to
this is
have.
if somebody sprains their ankle walking down your stairs
Exactly.
and sues you,
Because your homeowners doesn't cover it.
your homeowners won't cover it.
Right.
So this is saying you have commercial liability as a renter, as a short-term
But
renter.
why,
Rental.
but why do we have
pay
to
that claim.
define the amount of that? Wouldn't
We
that be
don't.
based
We
on
don't.
the
We don't
value of
define
their
it.
home or the, whatever it is, or?
I mean,
We just
usually,
show
it's
that they
typical to
have
set a minimum of
Like when you do a farmer's
200,000.
market or something, they
Yeah.
require X amount of coverage when you,
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
and I don't know in this state.
There's usually a
whether you
minimum.
would have to.
You know,
Does
no,
does the town have any liability because you're doing an ordinance and a registration and
Where's
you know,
Craig?
all the fees and all that stuff?
Not his department.
Does he only do health insurance?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
health and life.
Because then it's covering the town's backside. But I don't know.
It
Do we-
seems like we need some insurance advice, because none of us are insurance agents.
Right.
So,
I think there should be a minimum.
I bet the
Yeah.
LCT can help us with this.
I bet so too. We can also look at what Stowe requires and Killington requires, and
We can,
they
but
might
still,
have like a general
then we're just kind of like,
budget.
yeah, picking, we still don't know why,
Yeah.
so
We're borrowing
I would
Because
just assume.
The reason why, if the town's asking for it, then the town wants to cover the town's behind.
Well, no, the
No,
town
the
wants to
town is asking
make sure
for
the
it.
people
Because
that
we're-
rent in our town would be protected if they
Yeah.
injure
Yeah.
themselves somehow because it was a bad rental, that the owner, that they'll be protected. We're protecting the people that rent in town.
And their neighbors,
And
Right.
right, that's true, yeah.
right, that's one of the
Don't
pieces
protect
that
anyone.
you're kind of worried about goes around.
Well, I think it's up to the person to want to protect themselves. I'm thinking worst case scenario, you burn down, the renter burns down your house. You want to be covered because your homeowners isn't going to cover
Yeah.
that. Because it's commercial, it's rented, I think is how it goes.
But that's
what I was
protecting the
told when I got
renter.
my policy.
Well, that's protecting the person that owns the rental, not the person that's renting, right? So this
So
is designed to
Right, so I
liability-
would
protect
think the Airbnb folks or whatever would cover the person that's renting maybe, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, you want to just make sure
Okay,
your own.
so, we all don't know the answer,
There
so
you go.
we
We
should
don't know.
Look that
reach
up.
out. I think
Yeah.
VLCT is a good place to start. They provide our insurance, so it
Yep.
seems to me it would be a good idea to follow up with them.
I can ask
I'm-
that question on
Thank
November
you.
8th.
Thank you, I was just gonna say,
Right, oh, you're going to
without
the
Rebecca
short-term
having to do that.
rental,
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to that. So,
full day? There'll probably be insurance people there,
Yes.
talking about
It's just,
the great plans they
it's
have.
residential because it's long-term,
And how much
over
it
30
costs.
Yeah,
days
yeah.
per hour rental. I was just
oh,
trying to
oh.
solve it, but I can't.
So,
So where are we?
So
We're
we
jumping
need some
back and forth
clarity
between-
on what kind of insurance is being
Yeah.
required.
And why?
And why?
Yeah,
I mean,
It's
Yeah.
always the why.
for what purpose?
So just to
we also
summarize,
then need that to be reflected in the ordinance.
so to summarize, we're gonna send a letter out, have Granicus send a letter out. The letter's gonna be updated for the mechanics of how you do it, and that this is what you need to sign off on. And then we're gonna update the license agreement to remove the attachments, accept insurance,
Yep.
and update the acknowledgement to say more about insurance and minimum stuff.
Yes.
And
Once we have clarity on what that is required.
Hold on. In the acknowledgement, under Knoxbox, it does not line up with what we have in the ordinance. Because this says one is required for all short-term rental properties for which the owner is not present during the entire rental period. Our ordinance says only if you have an alarm system.
You need a Knox box if you have an alarm system.
If you have an alarm system.
All right,
Required
you-
for all short-term
Carrie
rental
needs to
properties in which an alarm system is
check this.
active.
Yeah.
So,
we
so we just need to
go through
update
and-
that. I think this is their standard default, which is why we had it in the original ordinance, and then we changed our ordinance, and they haven't changed it. Or, you know,
And what's the definition of present?
On site, I think was what they were thinking.
well, we don't,
But
that's
we
not
don't
even in
have-
here.
We don't have hosted
that's not what
versus
we have.
unhosted in here, so.
So It sounds to me like, Jim, if you could aid in making sure that the ordinance matches the terminology in the application with Carrie, that would be helpful.
That would be very
It's always
helpful.
good to have another set of eyes.
I can do that.
I can
That
send
would
you
be
the stuff
lovely.
tomorrow, Jen.
Dean, thank you.
So I had circled that on the application, you need the parcel number of your property. I assume that means tax parcel number, so in the letter, we're gonna tell them they need their property tax bill in front of them, so they can register, right?
It's
Doesn't that
also
what I mean?
available through the GIS mapping system, so.
But they're gonna, in
They'll
the
need
letter,
their
they're
parcel
not,
ID.
yeah, they're gonna need to get their parcel ID.
Maybe we can,
So-
I don't know, we can't put it on the,
Did-
maybe we put on
Is
the
our
letter.
intention for the letter to tell them absolutely everything they need? That feels like
I-
putting the application in the letter.
But it might be useful to have, if they need to know ahead of time, if the logging, if the form is complicated, which I don't know about, but like if it is, they should have a list of stuff that they can show up to
Yeah.
the website with
I always appreciate that when I go on
ahead
to
of time.
fill out
If
something.
it's just,
Right.
whether they have the
You
list,
will
the
need
number, and
these
then
things.
the
It's
GIS
nicer.
number.
It's nicer if you do.
Reliability.
Jerry said on the application, there's a link to the GIS mapping system for them to get their parcel ID.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect. Good.
I just have one note on the letter, which is maybe we borrow the language from the ordinance in the beginning, well, or maybe one of the previous drafts of the ordinance where we have the purpose, like in a much clearer way of like, this is to collect data, where all of these things, like, I just feel like maybe we should give the purpose. Or do
Or
we,
attach the ordinance to the letter,
or attach the ordinance,
that way they can read it.
Why don't we provide a link?
link it,
Let's link the
well,
ordinance.
it's hard to link it
Well,
when.
Yeah, that's why
In
we
a
were gonna do the
paper.
QR code.
Yeah, QR code is the
Yeah.
link.
No, yeah,
That works.
yeah. And my other question on the letter is, who's the STR administrator? Is it Carrie?
Jerry.
Okay.
Yay,
Just checking.
Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Carrie.
Carrie.
And also, you're typing to us, but maybe on this next round, would you please come, if you can?
We'll ask her. Yeah, she said yes.
Thank you, that will be helpful.
But this is a great start. I mean, this is super helpful.
Yes.
It's been, a little frustrating working with Granicus. Because our rep, we sort of thought that she would have like, her hand on our back pushing us to do things. Because we told her right up front that, this is all new to us.
Right.
We needed as much guidance as they could give to us, and they sort of fell short
Yeah.
with that. So after my very frustrating email to them, I think they were like, oh, we probably should pay attention to these people. So,
Sometimes that's what it takes.
yeah, exactly.
No, I think it's a great start.
And now, and I may not be a part of it every time, but we have a bi-weekly check-in with them so that they can see how
Okay.
progress is being made and things like that.
All right.
For-
Is
Remind
it
me.
appropriate, can I get invited to that?
Maybe. Yes, you can get them.
So,
I'd like to listen in on
Okay,
that.
it's Wednesdays, I think we did 11. So, but I'll,
Whatever
Yeah,
time,
okay.
don't worry about me, I'll figure it out.
Does Carrie report to you?
yeah.
Okay.
so Jim, I just, because I haven't been clear all along, and it sounds like we're not clear on it. What role do you want to play in this? Are you waiting to be asked, or are you helping drive the?
I'm gonna help,
Us.
if any help in the execution or the implementation is needed, I'm more than willing to set aside some time and help. So, whether that be, hey, Jim, let's figure out the 20% of the people that we don't know who are, or as Devin just asked, can you at least put an extra set of eyes on ordinance equals letter? I'm more than willing to help with that.
So what I'm hearing, Rebecca and Carrie, is that Jim is your new unpaid assistant.
Great.
So anything you need done, ask Jim.
That's fine, but,
Let him take vacations every once
Just
in a
make
while.
sure that, you vote for me for fence viewer next year.
Yeah. It always comes with
Quid pro quo.
It's-
Always comes with strings.
Oh, you can have dog warden tomorrow.
I don't like dogs.
You love Piper. Okay, do we feel like we?
Well,
are
that's,
good
I guess
in-
that's, yeah, my question is, are you guys clear on,
Next step.
yeah, and when, I know you were hoping that we could get this
Move
signed
this out
off
the
on,
door?
and,
Yeah.
well, get it signed off on
No.
and get it up. I mean, I think the letter says 60 days after, so we have an ordinance in place, but we're not requiring compliance yet.
Correct.
That's a public statement that I'm making.
Yes.
In the letter, it says we're not requiring it till 60 days after it went into effect. That would be November 17th?
No. It just went into
September.
effect October.
No.
Oh,
It was,
September.
it had a
It was
30-day
adopted.
appeal period, but it
Yeah.
was adopted September 17th, so that would
But-
mean,
But it goes into effect after the appeal period, doesn't it? I think that's the way it works. The ordinance becomes active once the appeal period has expired. Which means it's
It's
October
law,
17th.
it's law, but it's not being enforced, is basically how Ruth sort of explained it to me.
it's law when?
It's after the 30-day appeal period.
Which means the
So
ordinance is
October-
so then it's
active
not starting-
October 17th.
So it's active now.
So it's
It's
a little
active.
confusing in this letter, because it
Right.
says that we adopted it on September 17th.
Okay, so
We did adopt
to
it
your
on.
point,
We
We
should
did.
just put the
Yeah.
date that it's due,
that it's,
Yeah.
because we say that it needs to be
Compliance,
updated
just
up
say-
by October 31st every year, which I think is confusing because this will come out after October 31st.
Right, so yeah.
So I think we should just actually say compliance is needed by this date.
so, and maybe for our purposes, compliance needs to be by January 1st and carries through to October 31st of next year.
That's good.
Because
Giving
we need
ourselves
to
a
give
longer
people
window is what you're
ample
saying.
time. We need to give people time.
We
like-
need, we
and
clearly need
ourselves.
our, yeah, we
Right,
need time.
Right, we can't
to get it
short
out there.
them and take all the time we need to get the letter out. And if that means that renewal changes, then renewal I mean, like, or is that in the ordinance? You know,
Well, it's in
what
the
it is.
ordinance, and I think we chose it for a reason.
Yes, we did.
With the, yeah.
Yes, we did. I just, we don't wanna do it wrong for the want of rushing.
No, I
Well,
agree, I
And
don't
can
know
we
if
say,
January 1st.
for the sake of expediency, the board can delegate to Rebecca, based on the discussion today, finishing this, working with Jim, so it doesn't need to come.
Back to the
Back
select board
here.
for approval.
Yep,
Yeah, I don't really wanna delegate it to Rebecca, I'd like to delegate it to Carrie.
well, yeah, Carrie with,
Well,
And-
Carrie
and
reports to
support-
Rebecca,
With
so.
oversight from Rebecca
Yeah.
and
Right.
support from Jim.
Yeah, and I think we really need, like, we need to understand that we're overburdening our town administrator. This is a project that
it was never intended
for the
to be the
TA.
town administrators.
Yeah, so,
role.
yeah, Carrie, to that end, and I don't know if you can, I think you can hear me. Yeah,
Yeah, no, she can hear it.
yeah, please try and reach out to Jim for assistance whenever possible. I think I'm hearing Jim say he's happy to help, but he needs to be asked. And do your best not to put it on Rebecca if you can, and allow her to be like the final set of eyes. You know, just a proofread would be great. And if you want one of us to do that as well, I think Camilla or I don't want to speak for everybody, but would be happy to read through it.
Right.
I'll
But I-
speak for you.
But I think if we delegate it to Carrie and Rebecca, or Carrie or Rebecca, whichever is right,
And allow it to continue on.
and then allow it to continue and move on, obviously Rebecca can come to any one of us for
Right.
Totally.
advice, proofreading, etc. But it would preclude it from having to come back here.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think they're probably gonna want our input on is that compliance date.
And
Do we have a-
insurance.
Well,
What is?
VLCT.
yeah,
LCT.
once you find out what the
Yeah.
LCT,
Yeah.
yeah, you can make a
But-
recommendation, but.
But I mean, we
And-
can
I'm sure I
delegate
make
to
recommendation
Rebecca
on
to
that.
solve the insurance question and Carrie. doesn't have to come back to the select board.
I'm fine with that. I agree. And if that doesn't feel like an easy solve,
You can always come back
to
if
the
you
select
want.
board. Yeah, it's not that you
If it-
can't, it's
right.
that you don't have to.
Right.
Totally.
Amen, yeah.
So then we would be entertaining a motion to approve the application form and the letter, given the revisions that we've requested.
Well, I would say we're making a motion to delegate to Carrie and Rebecca, finishing the documents as discussed, and in working in cooperation with Jim, such that they can be put into production, without further need to come back to the select board. You are authorized now to.
So
Second.
moved.
Yeah, right.
Second.
Second from Kaylee. Any further discussion on the letter and the application? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the last piece then to solve is how we disseminate the information once they have it. And I think what I heard is that we'd like to let Granicus do their thing, sending the letter out, also posting it on Front Porch Forum and communicating it through the Valley Reporter
And our listserv,
and our listserv,
which needs to grow.
and then making sure that it gets included in a letter when tax bills go out next year.
And, yeah,
Does
every
that
year.
sound,
I think
and
it should
every
be.
year thereafter?
Yes.
Does that sound like what we wanna do?
Sounds great.
Sounds reasonable.
I like it.
Okay, cool. I don't know that we need a motion for that.
I don't think we have to move,
Yeah,
but I think it's great.
okay.
Great plan.
Wonderful.
Oh, we are just flying through this agenda.
Okay, on to maintenance plan for the town. We have.
Thanks,
Bye,
Barry.
Perry, thank you. The revisions we discussed. Has everybody had a chance to look at this?
Yes.
Does anybody have any concerns?
Do you have one of those that I could see? I have one. Thank you.
The only thing on the front page, the first page is I just basically, we talked about, you
Adding all
know,
the
having buildings
pieces.
and structures, grounds, and then
Yeah,
other. So just putting it into a table format, so it's just a little bit easier.
And everybody knows what top gas is.
We
It
do.
was all me.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
We do now, but don't worry, I didn't for a long time, and I lived here forever.
No, it is
what
kind
was
of funny
the-
that we still call
Where
it
did we land on the fire
ridiculous,
hydrants?
actually. Information, yeah.
That's what it's called now.
That was
And-
something that had been,
Hi, Lisa.
wasn't that one of the things we were discussing? Should it be on the road crew or it got paid out and then you were gonna
So,
ask the fire department or something?
well, so it's been a continuing issue that they have to pay somebody to come in and dig those out. That's not,
And,
I
and
can't
you
tell
haven't
Andrew what
solved
to do and
that.
what not to do.
Okay, right.
How to resolve that, I think, is bringing, you know, the fire chief, the road foreman, and a select board member to the table, and
Okay, so
having
we
a
don't need to
conversation.
deal with it in here.
I don't think
We
so.
had thought about maybe doing
Yeah.
that, but,
And I did talk to the chief about the fire stations. They have a pretty good handle on stuff, and it was not a pleasant
I was
conversation
just gonna
in my
say,
house.
should we?
Is that right?
So I basically just talk to chief on the phone.
yeah, I mean, coordinate with the fire department
Right,
makes sense.
right.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So they do a good job of, you know, maintaining, and I think anytime that there's anything significant, they do come to the select board and just say, hey, you know, we need a new garage door, you know,
There's
what
a
have you.
leak, the water's
But
coming in.
I think
And it
there's
would be
value.
nice if there's a plan.
Yeah,
I agree, so-
exactly. I think that's our responsibility.
Right.
It's, they do a great job,
Yeah.
but it's still our
We
responsibility.
still need a plan, and
East
it'd be
Warren
nice
Market,
to know
you know.
that the plan is consistent with the plans for the other buildings.
Would
that
you
the fire
like to talk to the
departments-
fire chief
Yeah,
about
I
this?
do
I can talk to the chief.
Okay,
about it.
I think it would be good if he
Yeah.
heard it from
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think once he
Absolutely.
understands that it's not like, no, you don't have control, it's
Right.
that like the things you want are
Right.
going into a plan and someone's managing
Right.
that.
So we
it'll-
can
it'll be
allocate
easier.
budget for the
Right.
thing
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
need.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
so you can have what you want when you want it,
Yeah.
because we put
And
money
maybe
away.
there could be a bathroom with potable water, I mean,
Yeah.
That would be nice.
I don't know, it's talking crazy talk.
You're talking to the fire chief.
Okay, well, I think this looks good. Do we have any other
I
concerns?
was just looking at, what were the other things? Term of contract, what did we end up doing
There's
about that?
brackets on the dates.
Okay, we
I
did
have a
that.
question, the flare bottom's on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it says talk,
No, it doesn't.
it does, talk to Historical Society. It doesn't say your name, Jim, but,
Sorry, where was the?
generate
It
and
was nice
maintain
to-
5-year repair and capital improvement plan, and then term and renewal. Contract shall begin on and conclude on. Town reserves the right to renew the agreement annually for up to.
I mean, I think if we're asking somebody to do a 5-year capital improvement plan, then we at least keep them on for,
Yeah, but also, I think what we decided was that we don't need to solve this.
Yeah, they're gonna come back.
We don't
Yeah,
need to solve this.
okay.
They're gonna come back with,
Right. You
here's
can
what
leave it
we would
bracketed.
propose.
okay,
Yeah,
This can stay this way.
Yep.
okay.
I think so.
Yes, Jim.
Just to be a pest, what about the, Granville Golf spot? Is that,
It's
We talked
not
about
ours.
that.
We
we
don't
don't
own
own
that?
that?
We,
No,
So you guys did figure that out, we don't
Yeah.
own that.
we
Well,
don't own it.
We don't think we.
The forest, yeah,
No one thinks they own it.
We don't own, we.
Nobody-
yeah, that's-
We're not
Nobody owns
maintaining it.
we are not
Okay,
maintaining
no,
it.
I was just wondering.
It's
is
not,
Cause
yeah,
we can't enforce people to not sleep there overnight. Like,
Yeah.
people aren't supposed to be camping there, and Jeff has gone round and round with the Forest Service, and we don't really have any authority to say to people,
Huh.
get out. We can say to them, there's no overnight camping, but that's all we can say. So,
They
yeah.
don't have to listen.
Interesting.
So,
so, I had a
Do you have another
question,
question?
sorry, just from before, I know I had, what pieces might we wanna have say on competitive contracts? Did we do anything about that, or address that at all?
That was us talking about like procurement of like,
of actual
Yeah.
work like.
Right.
like if we
services.
issued like a task order to do all of the things that were in the plan, would we just automatically give it to this person or this company? Or would
But-
we have to go out for competitive bid on certain things over a certain amount?
It
And that was
doesn't,
just-
it doesn't ever say that this is a contract to do work
Right.
on
Okay,
buildings.
that's how we
It's
got
to
around it.
We clarified
oversee
that by-
groundskeeping and
By doing
general
that in the
upkeep.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Provide
Well,
property management for municipally owned properties, is what we
Yep,
changed that to.
property management,
Right.
instead of property management services, I think is what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we have oversee groundskeeping, coordinate routine and emergency repairs, generate and maintain,
And it's
right? So schedule and
coordination.
oversee planned repairs and capital
Schedule,
improvements.
okay.
So it's very much the
Okay.
managerial position, not
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
the
you.
physical work.
Not
Okay.
that they couldn't, but.
It'd be
that's
great
the
No,
way
no.
this
Good,
is,
yeah.
But we wanna make sure that
Right.
it's not a lock-in,
Right, yep.
you know.
So, once we approve this, it's gonna go out for a request for proposals, and people are gonna come back, and we're going to open them
Have to
up
deal with
and-
that.
Yes, yes, we are, and then, once we deal with that, we won't have to deal with it anymore. Well, we will, but
We'll have
on
to
a
deal with
lower
it in a
level.
Deal with the
different way.
person.
And it's gonna be
Yes.
great, and it's gonna be
The management
just
company.
another level of organizing our systems and figuring out
So with
our
that being
capital
said,
improvements.
what does that timeline look like?
If we approve it now,
For getting the RFP out,
when do we say we want it back by?
yeah, when do we want it back by, when do we wanna, cause typically we have them back by, the day before a select board meeting.
Right.
Yeah, and we want them due in time to be able to budget for whatever we
Yes.
receive, which means we need
Beginning of
it,
December, maybe?
we
Or
need it
first
before
meeting
the
in
end of December.
Mid-December?
I would say,
What's the
what if we
first
did
date?
mid-December, and then we can make sure, because and finish our budgeting sort of
Yeah.
middle to end of January.
Can we say the RFP will go out by the end of next week?
Yeah.
I mean, if we approve it right now, you can send it tomorrow.
You wanna get punched in the face? That's about where I am right now.
Okay.
End of next week.
No, I love you, I'm sorry.
I know, no, it's.
By the end of next week, only because I'm working on the grant.
Well, you have to actually.
The end of
decide.
next
No, I
week is totally fine.
And then, RFPs due.
Let's look at that
Yeah,
meeting
where are
schedule.
meetings?
Is that the poop pen? All right, we have a select board meeting on the 9th and the 9th. What did we decide? Sorry, we have a select board meeting all the time.
What
always
are our
and forever.
regularly scheduled ones will
Is
be
the
for
9th.
this kind of thing.
Correct.
So the 9th of
Maybe.
December.
Is
So
that
they
too
should
soon?
be due by the 5th
That
of
gives them
December.
about 30 days. if you get it at the end of next week.
Is that enough? Or we could go, I mean, it could be due later
I
and
mean,
we
it
could
is
review
peak
it.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's fine, but I don't.
30 days should be fine, I think.
so you want them due by December 5th?
Yeah, and if we
We're
don't
not
get any,
asking
we'll
for a
ex-
total,
we
like
can
a huge
extend it.
amount of things from them, so I don't think it's.
I mean, if I can get this out sooner, I will, but I'm just
Yeah,
giving
yeah, no,
myself,
that's totally.
Totally.
That's
a
okay.
little bit of time.
Yes,
Had
your time.
Okay, and then we
And
will
we,
open
I mean, we can push
these-
it back if we
Yeah, we
think we
can.
need
open
more
on December
time.
9th.
Well,
Well, not
So
open,
they
but
should
we
be
will
due
review.
by the 5th of December.
Okay. You think that gives you all, assuming, let's say we get, 3 or 4 really comprehensive,
So then we
5th to the
you
9th,
would disseminate
Friday
them
to
on Friday, the
Tuesday.
5th,
Yeah.
and we would have 3 days to review them before our meeting. Does that feel comfortable?
Sure.
I have a question,
I
just
won't
recognizing
actually
Rebecca's
be here.
overwhelmed, with things. If property management services reach out and they wanna go see all of these properties, which probably makes sense.
Who's given the
Who
tours?
is given the tours?
well, I think we can do what we did with the town garage,
she didn't
is we
say
can,
that.
is we can say, there will be site visits planned for,
Set up.
maybe
dates.
we do 2 dates and 2 times, and if people can't make it, then they're on their own to figure stuff
Well,
out.
we've got Thanksgiving between now and December 5th, so that kind of squeezes us. Do we
Can I,
push it
can I
back?
just also say I am out of the country from Thanksgiving through the 9th.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering if we should push the RFP due back.
I mean, we're still within budget season, if we have them due at the end of December. So
So-
we visit them in January.
Yeah, so so some of the services in here are things like snow removal and stuff. I'm a little unclear on that.
I don't know, it's the
but-
question, do you
It's-
think
in other
they,
words,
do
when
they need
they-
to see the grass or do they need to see the snow?
Well,
What
I
do you
think, I think we can still offer them the site visits.
I thought there was only
It gives
one.
us more time to do some site visits if we say it's not due until January.
I don't think there was any.
But if
There's not a lot,
We
the
took
only
snow
snow,
out. Yeah, I
removal
realize
is
we
of
don't have that.
hydrants,
Yeah.
and that's a bigger conversation.
Okay, what I was
Um,
getting at was, is there anything that we needed them to do before the winter starts? But they'd start the contract whenever they start the contract, and then if we had somebody already
Right.
contracted for things,
That's fine.
Yeah.
And they'll pick it
They
up
have
next
to
time.
work.
Right, they'll oversee
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way that we'll ever be perfectly in
okay,
sync.
so now we're in
So,
January?
I mean, we could still just do it then. I'm home the 8th.
Well, no, I
Or we
think,
could
I
say like
think,
December 20th or something.
I think giving
it
people
done
the
this year.
option, well, I think giving people the option to have site visits.
Mhm.
We have to coordinate that too, so that
Yep.
gives us time to coordinate, have
So-
available to do that, and we've got, I mean,
What
Christmas.
if we had it due the 19th? We do have a regularly scheduled select board meeting on the 23rd of December, if
Which we
plan to have
probably
that.
aren't gonna have, and we're not gonna be reviewing them the weekend before Christmas.
Mhm.
I just don't see the rush.
Yeah, that's
I-
right.
And most
if
people
there's
are
a
probably
rush-
not gonna have their budgets ready
Anyway,
So then it becomes
January.
January regularly scheduled meetings are the 13th and the 27th. I would make the argument this might be applicable to a budget meeting.
I would definitely say.
So it might give us a bit
the
more flexibility.
Friday before the
and it-
13th, the one on the 13th,
The
right?
9th.
So the 9th.
Due
Due
January
January
9th.
9th.
I like it.
that they're due by January 9th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wunderbar.
So there's only like 2 things on here that really stick out to me: the East Warren Schoolhouse and the town garage are sort of the 2 structures that are, someone's here in this building all the time. That we could
And the schoolhouse is open to
right,
the
but I mean, like
public.
if they needed a tour,
Right.
so
Yeah.
outside of the sort of stuff like, I mean, all the other stuff is pretty self-explanatory.
Well, I don't know that it is. I mean, I think not everybody knows, what we maintain at Top Gas.
Okay.
Or,
All right.
Not
What we
everyone knows what
expect
Top
for-
Gas is.
Do we know what we do?
I don't know what we maintain.
We might need to put addresses in, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
But I think that Camilla's
I
right.
think to
We
be
should
clear,
offer a
we should-
tour,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
we'll have two different dates for
Then
that.
everybody's looking at the
And
same
we'll all
thing,
drive
everybody's got the
around
same
and we'll look at
information.
things, and two of us will do it, and we might recruit someone that isn't one of us to help us do it,
Yeah.
that knows
Knows stuff.
something we don't know. Do I have a motion to approve the maintenance, the scope, request for scope of work for property management for the town of Warren?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Who's got that project list up?
Not me.
That's not
I
done,
looked at
done
it the
yet.
other day.
Okay, Mad River Valley Planning District update.
Yes, I had a great conversation with Josh last week. A few things to like update everyone on. They are going through their work planning cycle for next year. They want input of where we want them to focus their time, on behalf of the town of Warren. Waitsfield has taken up a lot of their time with the wastewater project. And they're slowly moving that over to a project manager that Waitsfield is hiring, so they're trying to get out of the implementation space and back in the planning space. In talking with Josh, I think a few things came up. One is that they were under the impression early on that they would support us with the STR reporting and analysis. They've since felt like they've gotten sidelined in that conversation, but I don't think that was intentional from our standpoint, and I think they have a lot to offer. I know Waitsfield is interested in thinking about an STR ordinance similar to ours in the future, so I see a lot of value in them helping crunch the numbers and looking at it from maybe a valley-wide option in the future. Giving them some early insights into that, I think would be helpful.
Could Carrie have routine meetings with Josh or Josh's,
New person,
whoever
he
he
hired.
thinks is the right person? I mean, if they have resources, it'd be great to.
I think that would be really great.
You think regular meetings or just knowing that they're a resource that?
Well, from what I understand, they're ready, willing, and wanting to help analyze data.
And that would be
That'd be fantastic.
And that's sort of that piece that we were like, is this going to be the continuation
Yeah.
of our person, or does this live somewhere else?
Yeah, and they are actively hiring for Sam's position. He's there through the end of November, but if we say, like, we definitely need data
Yeah.
crunching, that can be kind of one of the things that he looks to hire for
Right,
in
yeah.
particular. So I think getting an idea to him about what we're looking for there would be helpful. We know they're great at crunching numbers, they're great at putting it in terms that everybody understands, I think,
I mean, is there any reason not to? I mean, it seems like the more
No.
eyes and
We-
hands working on this,
Jim?
the better.
You got any
Jim, is there
thoughts?
any reason not to involve the MRPD?
So we sat down with Sam a couple of times. Sam was super interested in it. The issue here is you can't say data crunching. You have to ask some questions. Otherwise, you're not gonna get anything meaningful or what you want. So somehow you need to provide real feedback to them. Can you answer these 6 questions? And that's the only way you're gonna get meaningful input back from a group like that.
well, that's great, because we need to come up with those questions anyways.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I feel
no,
better who's doing
that's-
it.
That's kind
Yeah,
of my,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's your homework assignment,
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
data crunching is
Yeah.
not gonna be helpful.
Right.
Well, I think, just to push back on that a little bit, I recall, the work that they've done through the Housing Coalition, et cetera, like, there is an understanding in that group of what are the questions we need answers to.
There is a white paper out there that exists that has some high-level questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they can
Revisit
also
We need to
work with
enunciate them.
us. I think they can work with us to say, here's what we think, they're gonna say, here's what we think you wanna know, and we're gonna say, here's what we think we wanna know, and let's build those questions.
Yeah.
Jim, can you go to the meeting with Carrie and Josh? or-
Josh? And me? And
Yeah,
Dan?
I could do
I
that.
think we could do it
If
all.
that's helpful, sure.
I think it would be.
To come up with those questions.
Well,
then-
and just to
Well, I mean, I think in
brainstorm on
general-
how to interact and how to coordinate and
Mhm.
who does what and
Yeah.
for what reasons and answering what questions, I mean,
Yeah, I would love to see the group that's sort of forming, right? Jim, yourself, and Carrie, and MRVPD, and Dan, if he wants to be part of it. Working with Kaylee as our rep, say, here's where here's how we think we can solve this, and bring that back to us. I think the thing that we keep being confused and frustrated by is like, the select board didn't think that this lived here. And that we were administering it and running it and directing it, and we would love to see a proposal from interested parties and those people who have the knowledge to say, here's what we'd like to do, here's the data that we'd like to gain, and here's why.
And I think we can do some of the scoping now with Josh. I think his capacity and his staff capacity probably won't free up till the new year, which is actually kind of great for in terms of the SDR timeline, because we'll actually start getting real data and seeing what it looks like and what shape it takes. So I think that should work out well if we just have kind of that initial get to know you meeting. Let's talk about what this could look like and what the steps are.
And who's doing what now and where it will go.
What are the things the planning commission really wants to learn? What are the things select board people want to know? What are the things that
help us
Mad
solve?
River PD wants to know? What is Carrie seeing that she needs more support on? Like, I think there's a good.
And then bring all that back to us.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I can follow up with Josh on that one. Another piece there is that Josh did work closely with V-Trans and the governor's office on getting the Waitsfield speed reductions going into Waitsfield on Route 100. He's interested in supporting us and thinking about ways to get it, continue the discussion, get it to be a prioritized project when we're thinking about the Route 100 intersection in particular.
And there are a lot of moving pieces with that intersection
There are so many
right
moving
now.
pieces, and I think that his expertise and experience there would probably be helpful from like
And even also just like circling everyone together, right? Think Mad River Path wants a crosswalk,
exactly.
right? We're talking about how do we modify the intersection, how do we calm traffic, how do we slow speeds?
Yeah, and they couldn't move forward with the active transportation corridor proposal or like project because of the lack of crosswalk. So thinking about like, what does that look like?
Oh yeah, so officially the Mad River Path did not receive the grant to build that connective path, and one of the big issues, or there were two big issues. One is a lack of understanding on how we're crossing Route 100 at that intersection, and two, how we're getting across the Kingsbury Bridge. So they're now the path is now working on solving those pieces.
and they apply again next year?
And they're now applying for smaller grants to run these sort of pilot studies.
Gotcha.
And demonstrations is what they call them, and to like do an installation, a temporary installation on what this could look like and how does it function, so that they can answer those questions and then apply again next year. Yeah.
Awesome.
So there's a lot going on with that intersection. Having Josh as a connective force there would be good.
Yes, because he's working closely with Misha anyways
Yes.
on all of it, so I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
The last piece is that they have been working with the planning commission. They had applied to get kind of a change in a neighborhood designation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But that got denied or put on hold because our looters hasn't
Right.
actually been passed.
And we need to change the minimum lot size in the village in order for it to be applicable.
Right. So there's just to note that they are able to continue helping us with some of those state level designations and changes as we navigate looters, and also just generally as we think about other uses or affordable housing in the village. They're interested in continuing those conversations where they can.
Is the village, are we designated as a village center at the state level?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we don't have the neighborhood designation. Is that what it is?
Right,
There's
and
a
that opens up,
story.
they just changed like their policies or the definitions at the state level, and so with those things going in, if we got the neighborhood designation, it would make us able to get
More
different
eligible for grants.
grants, but there were a few hiccups there. So.
Well, I assume you're just.
No,
stretching.
I'm
You're
stretching,
just
sorry.
stretching.
Okay.
No, you're fine, you're good, that's okay.
See, I don't know why.
So those are the three
Do
things
we
that
need to, I have a question, do we need to increase or decrease lot size? What was the lot size challenge?
It's a really tiny decrease, it goes from a quarter acre to 10,000 square feet or
200 or
something.
yeah.
It's like really minimal, but it's the thing that allows for meaningful infill development such that you get to be a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's.
I was just
basically-
wondering.
so, yeah, good. Anything else?
No, those are the three things that I came up in my conversation with Josh. I didn't know if there was anything else that you all see as.
I think we just need to know on a board level, like when and how we communicate these things to Josh, what our priorities are. And it sort of sounds like we should put that on an agenda so that we discuss how we'd like MRVPD to help support the work that we're doing here.
This is a little background, like what have they helped us with in the past, just as like, cause I don't.
Yeah.
They did the big traffic calming study way back when of the village when they wanted to do cobblestones all throughout.
Okay.
That's one of their big ones for us. They support with Sugar Bush management and relationship management.
They,
What does that mean?
So historically, my understanding is that they were created basically in response to Sugar Bush existing. And it was basically the valley's approach to managing the relationship with Sugar Bush to understand the impacts it was having on the valley. That's why the planning district was created. That's why Sugar Bush is participates, a member.
They're a member.
They're a
They're a
non-voting
non-voting
member
Right.
of the planning district, and so they update every year on their impact. What are the impacts they have on the valley? What are the economic impacts? What are how many people travel here, etc.
Yeah.
And it's housed other initiatives like the LOT, Local Options Tax, the Housing Coalition was a product of the planning district, I think, right?
Spin-off, yeah.
Yeah, so sort of, it's the placeholder for valley-wide initiatives.
It's basically, yeah, because on the one hand, we actually function as one entity, but we are separate municipalities, so it kind of answers to that, or can handle the things that impact all the three valley towns at least.
And very much from a planning perspective, municipal planning perspective. So hence the wastewater project, which all of the towns are like, yes, we want this to be a priority. Waitsfield is the commercial hub. This benefits everyone.
They also keep an eye out for state level grants for different municipal projects. They've aired more towards some implementation projects lately, but I think they're trying to pull back from those a little bit because it's not really their bread and butter. Like they did the Waitsfield Pocket Park that's by the covered bridge.
And they're funded by the towns.
Right, exactly. So we each, in a way, have equal access to them.
Right.
But we kind of share that as, and I don't think it's really clear how that works. I mean, if we were, for instance, if we were to come to them and say, you know, we want you to take the lead on this project, and it's a big project, all the towns would have to kind of get behind that, the way we did with the wastewater in Waitsfield, is we all kind of said, we agree that's good for all of us,
And the
even
way
though
we
it's
did
not specific to
with the
one.
LOT, with the first round.
Gotcha.
Which I think we'll hear more from Josh and Sam on in November.
Yes.
Do we have them on the agenda?
We need to add
put
them to the agenda.
Yeah, for the
one of the November
first
meetings.
November meeting, please.
November meeting?
Yes.
The next one.
The 14th.
That's the 14th.
Yeah, the 14th.
Or no, sorry, 11.
11, if that's possible.
Which
Because we want to do this while Sam is still here. He's the one who's done all the work on crunching the numbers for that and holds the data.
Yes.
Did you have something else you wanted to say?
So our three things are SDR, Main Street, 100 intersection path stuff.
Yep.
What was the third one?
Neighborhood designation.
Just neighborhood designation and general support on
getting that
house.
designation once the looters go.
And or if that's passed, then just thinking about like what other opportunities exist for the town
Mhm.
at the state level. Just
Yeah.
that general support, because we aren't keeping an eye on those things.
Okay.
The other thing that I asked Josh if he could do was when he comes to the select board meeting to talk about the LOT, to then also talk about what they do. Just because we have some newer board members, so
Yeah.
just giving an introduction to,
Answer
What we-
Joel's question.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
That'd be great. And also, you know, we can have more than one representative to the MRVPD. So if anyone else is interested in participating in those meetings, please do so.
Well, I was curious why there's not a lot of talk about Sugarbush at the select board, even though it's kind of a big thing.
It comes and
town.
goes.
Yeah.
It comes and
Yeah,
goes.
it
Like
does.
I would say last year, we talked about Sugarbush a lot.
Yeah,
Well, when
because we were
doing the
talking
land
about
use
the-
development regs.
Well, we were also
Oh my
talking
goodness.
about Sugarbush last year a lot because of the sidewalk
Housing.
that we never.
The sidewalk to nowhere.
Yes,
That's at my house.
the other sidewalk.
To the other sidewalk, the Sugarbush path. The Sugarbush
Yes.
path, right? Which does go somewhere.
Goes to
It-
my
when it
house.
goes, it'll go somewhere.
Goes right to my
Goes
house.
to
Yeah, so they come and go, and when they have large development projects, we see more of them. The DRB
Yeah.
works with them a lot, more than we do.
Right, right.
Okay, I don't wanna cut this conversation short, but we are
Yeah.
way behind schedule. Are we good? Okay.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Rebecca, you're up.
Okay, so before I forget, just a reminder that Warren Village Pool will close at 5 p.m. on Friday for Halloween and reopen at 7. So I've already sent a
Trick or treat.
notice to the post office, to the Pitcher Inn and the Warren store, just in case they have employees that are sort of within that zone and, you know, after a
Thank
long
you.
day wanna be able to get out.
And the,
Um,
and the village being defined as the bottom of Fuller Hill Road
Yep, the bottom of Fuller Hill Road to
Brook and
School.
The school,
just basically
Brooklyn
School Road.
School Road, and
Brook and the north
where does
entrance,
it, is
or
it,
where is it on Main Street?
I think it's Brook and
I think
Main.
it's Brook and Main.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's Brook and Main.
Okay, so you could park at the park and ride.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what a lot of them do. We have hired Cheyenne Abear as our newest road crew member.
Yay.
She started on
Yay.
Monday.
Welcome, welcome.
She joins us from AOT.
Cool.
She has a CDL and she has heavy equipment experience.
Awesome.
And she's great.
What's
Um,
AOT?
Agency of
Transportation. V-Trans. Let's see, bouncing around. Oh,
Is she gonna go sneak out there and put new signs on Route 100 for us?
maybe.
Should bring someone
So while we're on the thread of November 11th, it's a town holiday, it's Veterans Day.
Right.
So I don't
you
know
will not
if
be here.
we want to move that meeting from the 11th to the 4th. Because I can almost guarantee that no one's going to be ready to have a budget
Budget?
conversation on the 4th.
Oh,
And that we don't have a meeting on the 11th. But it's up to you all.
We have voting on the 4th. Are we having a meeting on the 4th?
we were planning to have
We
a
were
budget
planning to,
meeting on the
yeah.
4th.
And no one's gonna be ready?
I
Wouldn't
I
keep
don't
us.
believe so.
I won't be in town that evening.
Okay.
I can dial in, but I'll be out of town.
On the
Um,
4th?
Yeah.
So we can do them a different night of the week, but, can sometimes get
Wednesday?
complicated, but Wednesday the 12th?
Team?
I can do that.
Harmony? You good on the 12th?
I might need to zoom in, but-
Who knows? It's
but-
too far away.
too far away, but
Rebecca, do
I
you see any
will
issues
definitely
with that?
zoom in if
Is that a
I'm
fire
not here.
department night? Wednesday?
It is, but in all likelihood, won't be
Okay.
here, so I'll zoom in.
Kaylee, would the 12th work for you?
I can zoom in.
Is that okay? Because if people don't prefer to
Yeah.
zoom in, that's okay too.
I can do it.
Okay. I mean, I get, that would be
Just
my
seems
preference
like, yeah,
instead
rather
of
than-
switching to the 4th.
Yeah, me too.
And I mean, I'm working the polls, but not during our meeting time. Would that be okay with you, Rebecca? 12?
I will just throw out there, the Lincoln Gap group would like to get on the agenda for November 12th. For whatever that meeting is. To discuss what we
Bumps.
talked about, what we talked about doing up there
The
and
signage.
whether, and put in their bid for speed humps for us to budget for. So,
Were you doing signs? Was that, do you recall? Do you know, do you remember? Did we talk about somebody?
I don't remember, it may have been me.
I'm asking,
yeah,
to sort of put together a
Somebody was
plan
saying
for
we're
that
gonna
number.
numbers on a
Yeah.
package.
Okay,
but at any rate, that's not
I
gonna
don't think
happen
that's-
before, it's not gonna happen this
Yeah.
year, so it's gonna have to go into next year.
well,
So
we'll
I'm just
look at
saying that
the
they want it
agenda
November
and
12th.
see if
I
we
know, I
have
tried to
space.
find the spreadsheet, I don't know where it is located.
It's there. You don't look at it enough, so it's not populating in your favorites.
Okay, so Carrie and I completed the 2-hour Granicus training, worked on the registration form that you've all seen. We were also planning to attend the retreat that VLCT is putting on at Lake Maury on Saturday, November 8th. If Jim is going, I may not go.
Yeah.
But, you
What's
know.
that? Sorry?
So bring your golf clubs.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to?
Yes, I will go.
But, you know, it just might be useful information. There's a Zoom option as well as an in-person option, so. So I'm working on an energy grant for the schoolhouse building, and it's due, I think, on 12th or 11th or something of November soon.
Which one?
I don't remember which one it is. It's through the state. But I would love some feedback when it's ready. So I'll send that around to people, just because I just don't know that lingo.
Kaylee, is that something that you are, feel comfortable reviewing?
Great.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
I'll review it too, but I feel like that's totally your wheelhouse. And you're using the energy audit report from Building Energy,
Correct.
so you should have that as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Great. We have an ongoing issue with vehicles idling in front of the post office, and fumes are entering nearby homes. It's come to our attention a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and if anybody has any thoughts.
Do we have idling signs?
Well, and
Cause they work,
the
cause signs
people-
work so
the
well.
people that are
They work
idling
at
have been
pickup
spoken
from
to,
schools.
Do they?
Yeah.
and they
They do.
just don't.
I think that's
they
just
just ignore
shaming.
it.
Yeah.
So, there was, he was here, one of the guys was here yesterday, and he just is really upset about it.
Is that because it's federal property though, right? We can't, the post office
road.
does its own thing, like we can't
Well,
tell them what
but
to do.
Well,
It
but
is
they're
illegal.
idling on the town road, like they're not parking in.
So if
in
you
the
have a
parking lot,
trailer
parking lot.
and you can't pull in the post office,
Right.
you need to get your mail, they park in front of
Alright.
that white house there
Yeah.
next to the post office.
Oh, okay.
And it's also a safety concern, because when somebody's parked there, they can't see to back out into the
Right.
road to leave.
And there's no parking there anyways, right?
There's not supposed to be any parking there, but,
Just park here.
I've parked there.
so this, you know, so if anybody has any thoughts.
I
or
think we all
suggestions.
get creative with post office park.
Yeah. I met with Friends of the Mad River regarding replacement of an undersized culvert on Hanks Road. The project will improve fish passage and reduce flood risk. Friends of the Mad River would manage the design and implementation, as well as getting out the RFP, all those things, if grant funding is rewarded. And they have assured me that there would be absolutely no cost to the town. So it would be a box culvert, which is out of the scope of work that Andrew and his crew
Okay.
can do.
So we wouldn't be putting it in, we would.
Correct. Correct. They're working with engineers now so that they had documentation to submit the RFP, but they would do, you know, all of the work for that.
This is Hanks, right?
Hanks Road.
And the idea of the box culvert, in case anyone is curious, is like it gets sunken
Yeah.
into the earth such that it creates a natural riverbed
Right.
within it.
So what's happening right now is with culverts, there's an inlet and an outlet. The inlet is flush with the river bed, but the outlet is not. And so fish that want to spawn and go upstream can't, because they obviously can't jump up into the culvert. There's pictures if anybody's interested, I can send them to you, but there's a pretty significant drop.
This is gonna be pretty expensive, that's an expensive culvert, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll keep you guys
They
all
should
up to date on
coordinate, I
that.
guess, with Andrew, just because they'll have to rip the road up when they do it, or?
Yeah.
He's been made aware of this. He didn't
Yeah.
want to participate in the meeting that I had with them yesterday, but he is aware of this. He's fine with it.
It's a gravel
Um,
road, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they basically they would need our approval
Cooperation.
because they would need to access
It's
the
our
road
road.
and things like that.
That sounds great,
Do you need
We'd have
approval
to
from us
notify.
right now for anything? No.
as long as they notify Andrew,
Right.
They have
I
to.
think it's great.
Yep. I met with
They're
Ira
just
and
going
Julie.
for the grant at this point.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Possible implementation in 2027.
Great.
They
great.
want a year to be able to do the design work and get the RFP out. and all
Friends of
those
the
things.
Med River has a new project manager on board, Julie Frost.
Julie Frost, yep.
She's
great.
spearheading this.
Mhm.
She is great.
And then Dan and I met with Ben Olds to recap the July 4th event. We all thought that overall it went well with, some tweaks to some minor improvements. It was Ben's first year of doing it on his own. So knowing that next year is going to be a big event, Ben would love to see some more people get involved. Not just at the Rotary level, but maybe at the town level. I know that a few people in the village have expressed some interest. So Ben would like to come to a select board meeting in early January, because that's when he starts the planning process. And just
Great.
any thoughts? I think the thought is to have more of the activities be here in the village. What that looks like, not really sure. He said that it seems like less and less people go up to Brooksfield year after year.
I wondered about that.
But
Yeah.
he would love some input from other people, so I told him that we would get him here.
What's that?
I have some
Joel
input
has some
about
input.
that.
Good.
Yeah.
Just about getting floats down into the village.
Exactly.
It's so complicated
Yeah.
dealing with the sheriff at the bottom of the road.
Yep.
Good.
So
This is good. Critical feedback is important.
So you have a float?
So
Well,
you'll
Prickly Mountain
put
always
him
does,
on
and
the
it,
agenda
like,
in early
we
January.
always-
Perfect.
every
Yep.
year we have a issue.
Are we still
Um,
thinking about
So
trialing
we're
our
always a little bit
event
late.
training on the 4th of July, like our event
Oh,
planning?
the incident command.
Yes.
Incident Command Center.
That'd be great.
Sounds good.
Jeff would love to hear that.
Make him so happy.
Well,
That means I have to
Jeff
be
should-
here for the full.
spearhead it.
You should be here for the 4th, Camilla.
You should.
All my life for the
You
And
can
then
It gives you FOMO. I did it once.
Oh, I've done it. Trust me.
just lastly, not to cause any more commotion in the village tomorrow morning, but WCAX is gonna be here, and they wanna do a story on the speed humps,
Come on.
and they wanna interview somebody. So, I don't know if one of you is interested in
Not
playing that role.
Got it.
I am
What
planning
time
to
are they,
be-
they're gonna be here at 8:30?
They're gonna be here at 8:30.
So,
Sophia Thomas is
Absolutely,
coming
they
to the municipal building.
Jim will do it.
So,
I have to be in Berlin at 9,
okay.
so that
I think
kinda
she
takes
said
me
it
out.
might take 5 minutes of someone's time.
Well,
Yeah.
what are we gonna say that we haven't already said?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I don't think
we
it
have-
sounds like a very, very good
So her
idea, but
email
I
to
don't
me
think it sounds like a good
was-
idea.
By the time it's gonna be over.
because I specifically asked her that question. Let me see her response.
I don't wanna throw anyone
Yeah,
under
I
the
mean-
bus.
I don't know what her,
I just reply to her and say, we discussed it last night at the meeting.
I
they're
generally
gonna
want to
be
ask
gone.
We
why
have
the
our
speed
statement.
bumps were installed and what public reaction has been.
you can watch the
Well,
meeting.
Yeah,
give
tell
her
her to
the
watch
meeting
the meeting.
minutes.
Yeah. Send her
I
the
feel
link.
like that's plenty.
I think you
I
could
mean, to
give
have-
her this statement I just wrote.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
Camilla
saying.
wrote, and I'm edited.
Okay.
And we could add some language
Can you
about.
send that to me?
Yes, I can.
Could you please send me that statement as well?
Oh, joy. Yes, absolutely, Lisa. I love it.
And I think that's it for me.
Okay, so, I think we can provide her with a statement. I can't be here at 8:30. It's short notice, but, I'm sure she can work from the statement. She can pull from the reporting from
Okay.
tonight if she needs to, right?
Great. That's it.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, sorry, multitasking here.
Town garage.
Town garage. There is no update, other than we have our
Public
last
meeting.
public meeting.
Thursday at 7.
That's 7, yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Don't forget about your interview tomorrow.
With mics and requiring people to state their name and where they're from
Yep.
before they speak tomorrow, Thursday night.
Great.
And
then
we
all
tested
I-
that mic system out.
All I ask is that if people could possibly come and help me set up the room
Yes.
around 4.
4?
Tomorrow. Well,
Tomorrow?
maybe 4:15, just because I don't want to do it on Thursday. I don't want to wait until the last minute. But if people can't help me set up, if they could help me tear down.
I can definitely help you tear down. I can't be there till after 5 tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow at 4?
Yeah.
I will try to be there.
Great. The rug hookers, I think, are done at 4, but they're down in the basement.
I can't be there tomorrow, but I will help you break down.
Okay.
On Thursday.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna bring the mic over, just the
Test
setup
it,
that we
yeah.
use at town meeting.
Yeah.
Test it, and we'll go from there.
Okay. And do we need a gatekeeper again, like we did last time? Be a good
Carrie
idea.
said that she's unable to do it. I'm gonna ask Julie tomorrow. Last resort will be
Oh,
Jeff.
Okay.
So. And then I don't know if people have thoughts on another way to set the room up from what we've done.
I liked
Or
what
did we
you
like
did.
that? Okay,
That's good.
all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
That's good.
Did you get feedback?
No, I just wondered if you all thought that there should be a different way to set it up, but I think that works.
I thought it was good.
Okay.
Are we coming in costume?
Yes, please.
No.
Go for it.
Let's talk. I don't know if I can run the meeting in my Minnie Mouse costume.
Yeah, you can. Definitely.
Okay.
We-
Town garage,
That's it.
public meeting, Thursday, bond vote, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Don't forget to vote, don't forget to vote, don't forget to vote.
And you can vote early.
It's a double bond vote.
Sorry?
You can vote early if you need to.
You can vote early if you
vote
need
early
to.
if you need to, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Other business.
Don't have any.
Excellent. Minutes. Let's sign stuff.
Excuse me. My spin.
This is super helpful.
Great.
It's just the revenue, it doesn't split out what we're supposed to send to the state. So we don't have a sense for how much we've collected of our taxes.
Yeah.
Bye, Quill. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can ask Dana to break that out.
Okay.
Maybe for the next, it'd be helpful to know how much we've collected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she, I know we've collected quite a bit, and she's been moving it over into the premium account so that it gains
Yeah.
a little bit more interest. But I don't know. I forget what she said the dollar amount is that we still are owed.
It says we've collected 10 million here.
That might be true. I don't know.
I'm
The,
just
I
not
don't
sure
know
if
the
that's
answer.
what that's
I don't.
of 22 that we're
Yeah.
supposed to.
I
or-
don't know. I don't
yeah,
know the answer
yeah.
to that.
I'll ask her. Yeah, this is super helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, she, the 15th falls on a Saturday, so her plan, is to be here till like 1 o'clock that day. And then people, she'll put a note on the door letting people know they can leave their checks in the drop box.
Yeah.
And then she'll come down first thing Sunday to get payments.
I don't really
And then
understand
anything,
why people
anything
do
after
that.
Monday will be, so we'll have to, I think before town meeting, we'll have to talk about collection of taxes for next year, cause it'll fall on a Sunday.
Oh, be so exciting.
Yeah.
We'll change the date. Woo!
That'll be the most
That'd
exciting
be
thing,
crazy.
probably.
Woo!
Yeah.
So,
It'll be like the time we wanted to pave the crossroad. Or change the time of town meeting.
oh my gosh.
It's gonna be exciting. Okay, ready?
Minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Minutes or accounts payable?
Let's do payroll.
Let's do payroll.
Move to approve payroll in the amount of $33,584.68.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there just these two though?
Well, there should be 3.
Okay.
There's the bonus.
Accounts payroll, accounts payroll.
Whole thing.
What do you have right in front of you? What's this one?
Awesome.
Oh, yeah,
It's payroll.
yes,
Yeah.
sorry, I couldn't talk. My apologies. Okay, you got your poop pen?
Move to approve accounts payable in the amount of $259,162.24.
Camilla, you had questions?
I did, thank you. Buried under papers. Hold on.
Sorry, I'll stop.
Just, that's all right. Heavyweight shirts.
Heavyweight
Those are
$1,200
the-
in heavyweight shirts.
Those are the highway department shirts with their names on them.
$1,200?
They ordered 5 of each.
Oh,
Yeah. So 5
They're
long
wearing-
sleeve and 5 short sleeve. And they get they get
Oh.
Town of Warren and then their names
Do they
embroidered
get them
on them.
every year?
Last year I think they got a couple, and Andrew said he really feels it's important that when they're out on somebody's
Yeah,
property that
yeah.
they're identified.
okay.
And he has it in their clothing and safety budget line.
They were just labeled as heavyweight shirts, and I was like, wow, $1,200. They must be really,
Really
heavy
heavy.
for a heavyweight. I thought they might have been
No,
fire
they're
things or
really
something.
nice work shirts.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's
So.
25 of them. Okay.
We paid Vickery Hill more money for miscellaneous support.
To help make the updates to the website.
Yeah.
So
The
that
most
wasn't
recent updates.
included in our contract with them.
Nope.
Do the PED symbols under line striping come from grant money, or is that an ongoing maintenance cost? So there was, it said line striping,
Oh yeah, that's our guy added more
Our guy.
pedestrians to the pavement.
he had it broken down as, I think, the municipal lot,
Yeah.
and then he had PED striping.
Head symbol.
PED symbol.
Green Mountain line striping, 1,060, and it should go to the grant.
That was
Yeah, it
for
will
the-
go to the grant, but why is it not being paid until now? I'll have to check.
And this is the military lines.
Oh, because he forgot to include the pedestrian symbols in his original quote to me,
Okay,
and so that's why it's a
Okay.
separate.
but that will be under the grant.
They'll be under the
And
grant.
it's fine
Yeah.
that it's separate, because it should go to the grant.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's why I thought it was broken out.
Yeah.
but- Okay.
Okay, weird.
Okay.
But I'm wondering why
Like
he's not
timing?
being paid until now.
And is Mission Comms, is that fire? Is that, we paid an annual fee, annual renewal plus a couple other things. Mission? Sorry.
It's okay.
One of these.
Let me look at. I didn't see it coming.
Mission Communications LLC, yearly contract modem, LCD, and freight. $2,223 for yearly contract.
It must be fire department related.
It certainly sounds fire.
Yeah,
I know the
it's just,
that's
that's just a general question if you can.
insanely expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was who we'd contract, for some reason that didn't.
I
Ring
think
a bell.
I think they, I want to say that they do all of the
Maybe we
installation of the radios in the trucks.